Triple M footy is rocking Saturday night. Hope you enjoy the coverage. Richard Champion, Barry Denner, Simon Black and Joey Montagna are here to break this down now. Righto, boys. Give us some key stats that are going to matter tonight, some key matchups to look forward to.
Well, for mine, champs, I think the midfield battle, as we know, finals footy is always super important. The contested ball and clearance numbers, Brisbane were on top 2 weeks ago on this same contest, but that's going to be enormous. The Lions will learn from the way they use the ball going forward, and on the flip side, Richmond will try and prey on the way the Lions used the ball last time, similar again tonight. But so I'm looking for that fascinating battle through the middle of the ground. Does Mitch Robertson go to Dusty Martin? The Lions, on the back of some good results and contested ball last time, Joey. They did quite well overall in the midfield battle, but Dusty's so valuable and so such an asset with ball in hand going forward. So what they do there will be interesting. I think they'll probably have a Jared Berry run with him to start with, and if he gets out of hand, they might bring Mitch Robertson in from the wing to play on Dusty Martin. But some fantastic matchups. We spoke about Charlie Cameron and Dylan Grimes, what happens there, but it's going to be some great matchups all over the park.
Yeah, for mine, it's going to be the turnover battle. We've seen these teams are both very good at scoring off turnovers. We've seen from the other three finals so far, if you can apply pressure, put the heat on, turn the footy over, that gives you your best chance of scoring. And these two sides are very good in that area. So it's going to be hot. We know that. Who can handle the pressure and those that can turn the ball over and then get good looks. That's how you're going to get Charlie Cameron and Lincoln McCarthy and Rayner in some space forward of the ball. It's when you turn it over and you can catch Richmond's defence out of position, because if you don't do that, we know Richmond will be set up so well behind the footy, it's going to make it hard for Brisbane to score again. So I want to see both teams bring the pressure, that tackle pressure, the heat, and see if they can force some quick turnover and scores.
For Bob Jane Team Arts, we're going to head down to Belinda Mellon at ground level B. The coin toss has been run and won.
Dane Zorko won that toss, champs, and he is kicking towards the city end. For you radio folk, that is towards your right-hand speaker.
All right, conditions out there. There's a bit of fluky breeze. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's still picking up and it is still quite strong across the ground. You could see it during the coin toss. The player's hair was waving. I'm watching the players come towards me. For the Lions, it is Berry, Bailey, McInerney and Witherden. And for the Tigers, Nankervis, Graham, Short and Boldham. It's a strange breeze, champs. Keep an eye on it.
All right, for Bob Jane Team Arts, you'll keep us up to date right throughout the evening, B. Looking forward to a massive clash. We've got a stock filled with legends up here. Barry Denner, the People's Caller, is going to kick it off.
Qualifying final, the Tigers and the Brisbane Lions. It'll be Martin up against Soldo for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy, bounces good, we're underway. Neil at the bottom of the pack for the Lions. He's wrapped up in a tackle, the umpire to ball it up again. They run in off the square, big numbers around it now. Soldo tries to slap to ground level. Little kick out of the pack, Lambert for the Tigers. Goes towards half forward, player wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire will come and ball it up. Good tackle, Dean Rioli. So just forward to the centre for the Tigers to start the match. And throw a blanket around, about 12 players underneath the footy. Lions bottom of the pack, wins it for Brisbane. High kick towards half forward, punched away from McStay. Robertson down to Neil, got an unkind bounce. Dusty Martin swoops on it, drives a long ball to the outer side wing for the Tigers.
And the Tigers go hard, kick off by Prestia. And the ball's going to be wrapped up at half forward. Ball not coming out. Umpire's letting it go, giving it a chance to. He'll ball it up about 50 out.
No tag for Dusty Martin at the moment. It's just Jared Lyons playing on Dustin Martin in the midfield. So it doesn't look like Brisbane have got a match up or a tag for him.
We have got the Grimes and Cameron match up though. Soldo gets the tap down to no one in particular. And toss it up again. About 48 out from the Tigers goal. Heading to the eastern end of the ground here at the Gabba. 1 minute into this first term. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Ball thrown in the air. Big pack underneath it. Brisbane try to work it out towards Hodge. It's kicked off the ground by Soldo. Bounces towards Jack Rewalt. The ball tapped down the ground level. Grabbed for the Brisbane Lions by Adams. Drives the ball towards the wing. McCarthy caught behind. Laid the side bump. Ball spills. Baker fights for it for the Tigers. McCluggage with him. McCluggage won it. Little hand pass to McCarthy. Oh, he's dribbling kick off the side of the boot. Bounces towards half forward. Broad gotten away for the Tigs. Punts it out to Baker. McCarthy laid a heavy tackle. The umpire to ball it up. 65 metres out from the Lions goal.
It's just really important for these Lions players early on, just to get the territory going, I reckon. The heat of the game, just get it forward. Don't try to keep the dinky short one. Get some territory long.
Martin against Soldo. Taps it towards the boundary line. There'll be a throw in. 70 out from the Lions goal. No score on the board yet. 2 minutes played first term. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. Perfect conditions for footy.
Sorry, Champ. Charlie Cameron full forward. Got Dylan Grimes on him at full back in the goal square.
Trying to give him some space. Throw in. Martin gets Soldo out of the way. Prestia to Dusty. Gets around. Here's Lambert. In the centre of the ground. Puts it up towards half forward. Jack comes out and meets it. Punched away. Dan Rich puts the head down. Jack wraps him up. And umpire says holding the ball. Not much prior there, I wouldn't have thought, but he's going to take the free kick. Might be just beyond Jack's distance. He'll have to kick from about 56 or 7. He goes back, he looks to the right. He bangs it long. He's trying, it's still gone all the way. What a start. Jack Revolt's got the first major on the board for the Tigers there. 1 straight 6 the Lions yet to score. 3 minutes played first term.
Well, as we see on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay, boys, here Rewell goes bang from about 55 Champs. It just for mine looked like Harris Andrews was a bit slow to come off his opponent to try and stop that ball going through for a goal, which in the end allowed a big gaping hole for the Lions defence. The ball just went through uncontested, and great start to the Tigers.
Bosch Tools, good better Bosch, professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy, good start on the IJ Liquor scoreboard for the Tigers. 1 straight goal, Lions yet to score.
Wasn't a free kick, Baz, on the Bosch Tools replay. Very stiff, Daniel Rich. Just went low and hard for the footy. Tackled as soon as he got it. No chance. It was a bit unfortunate.
Bounces outside the circle. We'll do it all over again. This big Stephen Martin looks over the circle towards big Soldo. They crash into each other. Soldo got a hand on the footy to ground level. Martin lays the tackle on Zorko. Dragged him off it without it. Zorko with a free kick advantage, paid the Lions. Kicks towards half forward. Hurley's in the way. Little hand pass to Cochin for the Tigers, right in the centre. Beautiful delivery. Out of side wing to Lambert. Marks and runs. Oh, big leap was Rewald. He went early. And Harris Andrews will get the free kick at full back for the Brisbane Lions.
Got the adrenaline pumping, Jack Rewalt, and just was a bit ambitious there.
Hodge takes the advantage. Out towards Robinson. Couldn't. Goes at it for the second crack, though. Here's Neil. First touch to Christensen. Little short pass. Charlie's on. Was he tackled? There's the umpire. He's aware of it.
It's the early one, Champs.
First free kick to Charlie for holding on against Dylan Grimes.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's been a reversal. Yeah. Talk us through it, boys.
He hardly touched him. Hipwood just went over to let Grimes know. Grimes flopped and the umpire fell for it. Poor decision by the umpire.
So Grimes is in the deep back pocket. It would have been a shot at goal from 25 metres out. Grimes long drop punt out to the outer side. Outside defensive 50. Zorko back of the pack claims it. Kicks it high into the head of Hordes. Cameron again. Grimes worked him underneath the foot. He took the mark for Richmond. That's going to be a terrific one-on-one tonight. Hurley to Asprey, back to Hurley. Runs to defensive 50, brings it out to the broadcast wing, but he's kicked it straight to big Stephen Martin, and he's marked for the Lions.
Got Darcy Gardner to his right, laterally, and then has to go down and do up his shoe pretty quickly. So Darcy Gardner goes back and settle things down for the Lions. True wing position, now called to play on. So we go long down the line. Lions waits down. Hipwood was caught behind. Here's Christensen. Little sneaky kick around the corner. Cameron was there, and also Cam Rayner punched away by the Tigers' defence. 10 metres around from the right-hand point post. Lions end up going here at the Gabba. Oh, gee, that is pathetic. We've just seen on a Triple M Bosch Tools replay, boys.
Well, that's just an umpire not handling the occasion. The umpire got sucked in there to a free kick that wasn't there, and also they get overruled too, some of these young umpires.
Triple M Super special comments. Joe Montagna, Simon Black here tonight. Rush kick outside defensive 50 for the Tigers, and Witherden sits underneath it, takes a nice mark on his chest. So a very crowded forward 50. He's about 65 from home. Looks to the centre. Luke Hodge stands alone. And he marks all players forward of the centre in Brisbane's territory. 1 straight goal, Richmond. Lions yet to score. 6.5 first term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Long kick to full forward. Terrific grab by Dylan Grimes at full back for the Tigers.
He's such a good player, isn't he? So Grimes now heads to the outer side. A little 40-metre kick low. Looks towards Dusty. And now Bolton. Long down the line.
Great kick.
And a nice grab too. Well, play on, says the umpire. It was Lynch. Now gets a handball away. The Tigers have got the numbers. Pressed his kick to Jack. Revolt comes out, marks it 40 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Well, chaps, that's exactly as you called. They got the numbers around the board, didn't they? They're allowed to get that little handball out in the end. A couple of flick handballs and a player with a bit of time and space. Very well, beautiful leave coming out. He was never going to not end up with the ball in his hands in that scenario just then.
Had a lot of space to work in a couple of weeks ago. Kicked 4 in the first term in round 23. He's got one already tonight. He stabs at it and he's pulled it to the right-hand side. In fact, hasn't scored at all. So that was a little different to his first shot at goal. In fact, it's just touched off hand, so it'll go out of bounds for a throw-in. 5 metres around from the left-hand point post. Tigers are heading to the eastern end of the ground here at the Gabby. Your left speaker.
Ball spins in, deep forward pocket for Richmond. Rewalt taps to ground level, still 20 from their goal. Players from both sides dive on top of the football. The umpire crosses the arms. Early stages, both sides feeling each other out at a packed Gabba. Up goes Nankervis, tapped it straight towards Harris Andrews, kick smothered, spilled to Martin. Another one to the Tigers. Threw it straight onto his boot. Dusty's got his first. Richmond have got their second. Their 2 straight goals. Lions yet to score. 8.5 first term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly independent.
Well, I just made a little note to Blackie a couple of minutes ago. I'm a bit concerned if I'm a Brisbane supporter about Jared Lyons going head-to-head v Dustin Martin. It doesn't seem the right matchup for mine. We know how damaging he was a couple of weeks ago, Blackie, and already the impact he's had. So the Red Z lending stats, he's already had 3 disposals and a goal. So he's the one that I reckon Brisbane have just got to have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, totally, Joe. I mean, they like I said, last outing, they won the contested ball and clearance numbers. So as a collective, they're actually quite effective. But we see the Bosch Tools replay here. Movement around the stoppage is what it's all about there. Dusty just got on the move and great smother there by the Richmond ruckman. And Dusty, Johnny on the spot, landed in his hands and snapped quite an easy goal. But yeah, let's keep an eye on Dusty.
So Nankervis now on the ruck for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Against Big Oscar, has been a free kick plucked out. And Barry will receive it. A little bit slippery in the middle, almost slipped over. It's allowed the Tigers to get back in defence. He just pumps it up towards the forward line. Zorko handballs it away. McCluggage, good tackle. Asprey, and now out of bounds for a throw-in. Umpire says it's okay, we'll ball it in. Yeah, Dusty's just the 3 touches, but they're all damaging, aren't they? Every possession he gets.
Yeah, 3 touches, a clearance, a goal. The Triple M Red Z lending stats. Boundary throw-in, deep forward pocket for the Lions now, looking for their first score. McInerney in the ruck against Nankervis, kicked off the ground by Lambert, straight to McCluggage, he's about 50 from home. Hand pass to the running Lockie Neal, goes back by hand. A kick Bailey inside towards full forward, the big pack fly, McCarthy over the back. No spectacular mark this time, punts it through for a rush point. Brisbane's first score, one behind the Tigers, 2 straight goals, 10.5 first term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
It's going to be a key for Brisbane boys to get their smalls at ground level. I've got 3 tallers in McStay, Hipwood and McInerney. The Rainers, they can't fly too much. They've got to make sure they present at ground level.
Short kicks the ball out for the Tigers to the outer side. A lot of players around the ball. Here's Dusty going hard, applies a tackle. Did the player have it? No, the umpire said he didn't. So it'll be a free kick to McCluggage outer side. Yes. Slow movement by Brisbane has allowed the Tigers to get back though. So he just has to pump it long to the top of the square. Hoping for Hipwood to fly and take a big mark. Lyons is there as well. Ball now kicked out, but it's all Brisbane. And Mitch Robertson gets back, takes the mark.
So Robertson just forward of the wing outer side of the ground, right on the boundary line. Runs around, drives it to a forward pocket that has 10 players that will fly. Christensen fall to the ball front and square. Tried to run out of the pack, wrapped up in a tackle. Bob Jane teammates, Belinda.
Mitch Robinson had Jack's actually come in from the bench. He has had his right hamstring strapped and is looking a bit proppy. Keep an eye on him.
Thanks, Pete. So from the stoppage now. Presti was there, whistle on play. Free kick to Brisbane by the looks.
Mitch Robertson's
going to go to Mitch again.
Yeah, just caught high there.
Caught high by Edwards, I think.
Yep.
So umpires mic'd up exclusively with Triple M tonight. Mitch Robertson tucked in over on the boundary. It's only 30 metres out, but very acute angle.
15 gone.
As you heard, 15 gone. Really important for Brisbane to get a major on the board soon. Robertson comes in, just goes around a little bit to improve his angle. He's brought it back. The crowd will tell the story, and they're not quite loud enough.
They're very excited here. They're cheering points, champs.
Well, it's the first score. No, it's the second score for Brisbane now. 2 behinds. The Tigers are 2 majors. 10 points to diff. Favours from the Tigers. 12.5 played first term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Long ball out of full back for the Tigers. Lynch caught behind Andrews. Brings it to ground. Looks for the player running through. And Graham does the damage for Richmond. Broken tackle on the wing. Little hand pass to Lambert. Another one to Prestia. Goes onto the right boot. Pops it about 40 metres. Inside forward 50. Oh, good work from the big man in Oscar McInerney, who dropped back to half-back. Followed the flight of the footy and took a beautiful mark at centre half-back. Hand pass to Witherden. A short kick to Berry. Another one to Robinson. Still inside defensive 50 to Brisbane.
So Mitch Robertson picking up some Triple M Red Z lending stats. Goes out wide. Christensen's moving well. He was out with a hamstring, remember, a couple of weeks ago. Missed the last game. Here's Rayner. Needs some big things from him. Here's McStay. Leads out and takes a good grab. Wants to get on with the job. Does. Spears it out wide. And Berry takes the mark.
That's a clever kick, champs. It could have blazed away long deep, but they had the extra number back, Richmond, and McStay, a bit of maturity there. Looked sideways. They knew he had Berry on, and Berry will go back and kick from probably just outside 50.
He's got the distance. He's a good kick of the footy.
15 gone.
Good patient play. So Jared Berry been very good this season. Just the 7 goals. And here he comes. Long run up. Runs to about 51. Looks good off the boot, but he's pushed it a little bit to the right-hand side. So still no major on the board for the Lions. 9 points. Favours the Tigers. 14 played first term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly independent.
They've settled into the game, champs. The last 5 minutes, Brisbane have got it on their terms, playing it in their front half, so they can now set up behind the ball and just work themselves back into the game before they get their first goal.
Short to Vlosten. And Vlosten kicks a long ball out of the back pocket. Punched away from the wing. Zorko's on the end of it. Off balance on the kick. It's close to the boundary line, about 20 from the Lions goal. Big pack fly. And Grimes again. A big fist on the footy. Slapped it out of bounds. 25 around from Brisbane's goal.
We've seen in the finals, you just got to build pressure. Get it in your front half. Lock it in. We saw the GWS Giants do that this afternoon against Bulldogs. If you keep doing that, eventually the goals will start coming. But just keep building it in your front half.
Triple M Boss Tools replay. Charlie Cameron flew for that, and here he is right on cue. Overran the footy on that occasion, though. Here's Neil. Got it back to Robinson. He's in everything at the moment. Mitch. He snap on goal just to the right-hand side. They're peppering away. They just can't put a major on the board. 4 behinds now for Brisbane. Tigers 2 straight. 8 points. Favouring the Tigers. 15.5 played first term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Vlosten plays on, runs to the outer side this time. Oh, player in the pack. Lynch got a massive shove. Advantage paid. Hand pass comes out to Lambert. He's on the run. Takes a bounce on the wing for Richmond. Over the top to Martin. Martin tried to go back to Lambert. Hodge read it beautifully. Ran off half-back. Spoiled it down to Zorko. Little hand pass comes out to Hipwood. Another one to Berry. Berry 65 from home. Looks for the leader. Kept the eyes low. McCarthy dives to the ground. Plucked it off the turf. Had the hand pass after he was tackled. And the ball went out of bounds.
Just some Red Z lending numbers, boys. Kane Lambert already had 9 disposals. He's killing him for the Tigers. Prestia Martin 4. Mitch Robinson's had 5. Dane Zorko 4. And the Red Z lending stats.
Joey, throw in. Martin takes front position, taps it towards the boundary line. Little handball back towards Christensen. Here's Vlosten, though. Clears for the Tigers. Out of the danger zone for now. Harris Andrews is there. Dusty's onto it. He's beaten to the footy by Bailey. Now Podge.
Clever.
Nice little kick. Sets up Steph Martin. Has to go back. Looks lateral. 60 out from goal. Spears a little pass out wide. So again, the Lions have to reset here. We'll probably just bomb it in. They're very predictable so far. Kick was touched though. Martin's there. Just waits. Handball to Robinson. Been busy on the Triple M Red Z lending stat as well. The stat sheet. Big Oscar couldn't pull it down. Hooley, little hands were good. And the Tigers defensively in trouble though. Holding the ball. No, umpire says we'll throw it in. Broad was the player tackled over the boundary line. So the pressure from the line's good.
Champs, pressure from Lions great. They've had the 10 inside 50 to 11 now to 5 Richmond, but they've got to get bang for buck. They can't continue to go in there now, time after time, and not score though.
Tigers by 8 points. We're 17.5 into the first term. Deep forward pocket for Brisbane. Running around, little snap on goal. Rayner, and the mark's taken by McInerney. Was touch play onto the umpire. Berry off hands, grabs it, hooks across the body from 20. It's gone too far. And off the chest of Christensen and through for another point to Brisbane Blackie. 5 behinds, 2 goals. The Tigers Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Ball's been in Brisbane's forward half probably pretty much the last 5 minutes, but they haven't been able to get the score, get the goal at this point.
Ball comes out now from the kick out. Jack's flown for it and interfered with, says the umpire, against Darcy Gardner. Pushed him out. Didn't allow him to have a run at the contest. So Jack has it between left half back and wing position. Now goes long to centre half forward. Cochin punched away from him. Here's Lockie Neal gathering. Needs to get rid of it though under pressure. He does with a little handball. And now Witherden, long. Big Oster's got to go back with the flight. Did okay. Needed to keep his feet though. Loston was good. And now the Tigers out of defensive play by Short. Up towards right half forward. Steph Martin gets back, takes a good defensive mark.
First final in 12 years for Steph Martin. Kicked the true centre half back to Robinson,
nice
trying
kick.
to find the fat side of the ground here. Finds McCarthy. Beautiful kick. Drilling 50-metre drop punt it was. Goes to a one-on-one. Cameron and Grimes in the pocket, and Grimes wins again. That's going to be a ripper all night. Grimes marks and gets it to Caddy at half-back for Richmond. Little hand pass over the top to Alice, who's driven a ball forward of the wing. Too wide out in the fall. Luke Hodge will bring it back in for Brisbane.
I just wonder if there's not a theory about maybe kicking it on the ground to Cameron and Grimes one-on-one. Grimes has taken 3 intercept marks already. Do you reckon maybe just kick it along the ground, let Charlie get the work?
I think Charlie needs to get some lateral movement. He's too much at the kicker at the moment, which is easy to stay on the back of. Need to get to work, move laterally, and then come at the kicker.
So the Lions now long to right half forward. Lions little kick. There he is. Charlie Cameron on the burst, out on the lead, takes it. Will have a shot 40 out directly in front.
Well, there's plenty of positives at the moment for the Lions. I mean, their time in forward half, it's been all pretty much Brisbane the last 6 or 7 minutes, but they just got to convert. It's been their issue. They've been, I think, 15th for the year chance for conversions for set shots on goal. So they've got to start making sure after 5 behinds here they kick their first goal for the evening.
Needs to kick it, Blackie. Charlie comes in. We'll watch Charlie. He loves it! You don't even have to wait for the result of the goal umpire. And he's brought the people to their feet. He signals the one finger as he runs off for a spell. And that's the Lions' first major on the board. 1-5-11. They trail by 1 point. The Tigers are 2 straight. Played 20 into this first term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Well, you're right, Blackie. They really needed that for reward for effort, because the last 10 minutes or so, it's been played in their front half. They've been applying the pressure, and they had to continue to build it. I could sense the frustration. You wanted a goal, but they should be really pleased with how they're playing. They're getting it on their terms now. Now they've got that goal, they can steady into this game, and they can continue to play the way they're going.
Yeah, spot on, Joe. You hit the nail on the head. They've settled now, haven't they? You can see they've really settled, and the ball has, like we've said, spent a lot of time in their forward half, but they just need to be a little bit more, I guess, effective going forward.
Simon Black, Joey Montagna, Triple M Seabus Super special comment. Seabus Super offering members insurance cover that protects building and construction workers. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy. Bounce was, went sideways. So the umpire calls it back. The crowd gets restless. Sell out tonight at the Gabba, of course. Fantastic atmosphere. Don't forget at Macca's, the Monopoly game at Macca's is back and bigger than ever. Visit maccasplay.com.au for full terms. This time the ball thrown in the air. Tigers bottom of the pack through Prestia. Dispossessed. Zorko swoops on it. Drives the ball straight up the ground. 20 from the Lions goal. Trying to barge through McCarthy. Neil's got his head over the footy. Spills out to Vlosten. Gang tackle. Dragged to the ground. 40 out from the Lions goal. The umpire calls for a ball up.
Geez, their body language is good, Brisbane. Zorko now knocked over off the ball. Crowd want a similar outcome to what it was a couple of minutes ago when it went Grimes' way. Not to be. So from the stoppage, here's a chance. McCarthy runs in, another one to Brisbane. In fact, it was Lockie Neal. He read it beautifully off the pack. And a little snap around the corner is his forte. And the second major in as many minutes for Brisbane. 2-5-17 now. They lead it by 5 points. 2 straight the Tigers. 22 played first term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Well, champs, where's the goal derived from? Mitch Robertson on that occasion. His tackle pressure here, as we see on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Ball spat out of the stoppage, and it looked like Richmond were going to clear the ball, but Robertson, as he so often does, just sweated on a Richmond player. Got the ball into ground level from his tackle, and Brisbane were clever enough to get the ball in the end into Lockie Neal's hands, and he kicked a somewhat easy goal over his shoulder.
And 9 clearances to 5 now for Red Z Lending. That, we know, is Brisbane's strength against Richmond. If they can continue to win the clearances, get it in their front half and get opportunities, they'll keep putting Richmond under pressure.
Lions up by 5 points. 22 and a half now first term for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. From the bounce, free kick to Brisbane, but the advantage not paid as Zorko runs away. It's going to come back to the centre of the ground. Interesting. Looked like a possible advantage. Lions will take it for Brisbane. So it gives the Richmond side plenty of time to drop back inside defensive 50. Doesn't kick it. Hand passes to Daniel Rich. Beautiful left foot drop punt to the forward pocket. And McStay has put his hands up in the air in a pack of 4 and taken a lovely mark 35 out on a 45-degree angle.
Well, it's 7 scoring shots to 2 at the moment. It's been a bit of a demolition from Brisbane, but the inaccuracy. But speaking of inaccuracy, champs, we've seen Dan McStay time after time this year go back from a set shot scenario and spray it. So big moment for him right here.
Yeah, 19 goals so far this year, but 50-50.
Daniel McStay, drop punt is good. Real good. Brisbane with the last 3. And they have a lead by 11 points, 3-5-23. The Tigers, 2 straight goals, 12-24 first term. And that's on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Now, this first quarter is crucial, Baz. We went with the stat Thursday night that we'll go with again. In the last 4 final series, 29 games, the team that's been in front at quarter time has won 25 out of 29.
Yep.
So you talk about getting yourself into the game, having that lead, and you can settle in. It's a big stat in finals, and Brisbane now, with a nice little buffer, they're in a good position at the moment if they can continue to win the clearances.
20 goals, 15 for Dan McStay so far this year. So it's actually worse than 50%. So that'll be really good for his confidence going forward in this game.
He's a big confidence player too, champs, isn't he?
Now, it was a good catch too, double grabber.
You wrote him off, Blakey.
But at a very important time for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Here's Cochin out of the centre. Puts it up towards Lynch. Couldn't take it. Here's Edwards. Snap on goal. The Tigers get one and back really quickly. 3 straight now, the Tigers. The Lions 3-5-23. 25 played first term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Skipper Trent Cochin, centre bounce, just his second disposal on the Red Z Lendings, but a crucial one. He was able to come out of the front of that centre clearance, get a good look, got it in deep, and Edwards was able to do the rest. But just like that, that's why this team is so good, Richmond. If you just take your foot off the pedal for 1 minute, they could bite you and score.
If you love your family, look after your mates. You'll be listening to Joey Montagna and Simon Black with the Triple M C-Bus Super special comments tonight. A ripping start for the match. 4 minutes left to play in this first quarter. 5 points up the Lions. Bob Jane T-Marts, Belinda.
Really strong smell of smoke down here at boundary level. The wind has picked up and is bringing the smell of those bushfires close. It's been unnerving.
Bob Jane T-Marts has a month of big deals on big brands such as Bridgestone, Hankook and BF Goodrich. The kicked inside forward 50 from the clearance for the Lions, but numbers with Richmond. A big wall set back there. Prestia's got it. Little hand pass to Baker. He's kicked to the wing looking for Rioli. Daniel Rich, beautiful. Worked his way in front of him and took the mark on the wing. Little chip inboard to big Stephen Martin. How's his numbers, Joey? As he started tonight?
He's had a great start. This is disposal number 6 and he's taken 5 marks.
So the big man has started well. He's got Soldo and Nan Curvis from the Tigers to contend with. Short kick back to Harris Andrews. Kick short outside defensive 50 back to Daniel Rich.
And goes short to Darcy Gardner, out of sight. So Lions just patient with this build-up. Gardner will now go long. Right down the line. He's waiting for big Steph to get up. Couldn't quite pull the mark in. Tigers working hard at ground level. Rayner gets a little breakaway. Gives the handball to Zorko. Shot on goal for Zorko. He's pushed it to the left-hand side. Just through for a behind. But they're looking good. They're attacking the ball a lot better with a lot more confidence than what they did a couple of weeks ago, around 23. So now to 6-point margin. Favours Brisbane, 27 played, first term.
Long kick Tigers to the outer side wing. Big pack of about 12 players underneath. The big man Curvis tries to work his way out. Didn't really know what to do with a hand pass. It ended up straight onto the chest of Martin. Little hand pass back to Christensen. Short kick to Lyons, who's infringed at half forward. Free kick. Kept the eyes low. Spotted up Rayner. He's taken the mark. 45 out directly in front. Tell you what, boys, the Lions at the moment, certainly in the last 10 minutes, they just seem to have all the footy. They're all over Richmond.
Yeah, Baz, I guess they're thinking their way through the traffic a little bit better too as the supporters progressed. And another good example there from Jared Lyons. Didn't panic and blaze away. Looked laterally and had Cam Rayner about 15 metres inside forward 50 for him. So massive kick for a big confidence player in Cam Rayner, 2 champs.
6 points up Brisbane before the kick. 28 minutes into the first term. As Rayner will drop it onto his boot. 48 out. There it goes. Drop punt. 3-quarter post. High as a beauty. Oh, Brisbane are on fire. First quarter here at the Gabba. 4-6-30. The Tigers 3 straight goals, 18. And that's all on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
And it's all been off the back of their pressure. Once they're getting the ball in their front half, they're just not letting Richmond get anything clean going forward and turn the ball over there, won it back, and that's why they're able to find some marks inside 50, because if you can turn it over with your pressure, there's going to be some free players, and they're doing a great job at the moment, the Lions.
Very important for them to have a good goal spread tonight, Blackie. They're not really dependent on one person kicking a lot of goals, so that's going well for them tonight, 4 individuals so far.
It's been the greatest strength of the Lions this year, hadn't it, Chance? We've so often seen them 10, 11 goal kickers, regular occasions, and they're certainly going to need that again tonight.
Good numbers too for Cam Rayner, Joey. Early on, he's a confidence player, and the tail should be right up.
Yeah, 5 disposals, 2 marks and a goal already for Cam Rayner, so nice start for him.
For McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy, Nankervis against Steph Martin. His Lions been very good for the Lions this year. Here's Mitch Robertson, clever. Out of midair, Rayner's there again. Here's Hooley brushing away from half back. They're pressured though again. McCarthy, little kick around the corner, not so good, made it half for Christensen. They want deliberate and they're going to get it. The Lions 60 out now. Robertson has it, been very busy so far. Spears the pass in towards the top of the square. And guess who?
Jeez.
Grimes again. Just reads the ball so well. Took a mark over the back of Charlie Cameron. Will go back and go long outer side.
The high drop punt. Robinson let it go for the big blokes behind him. Lynch and Andrews went at it. Punch back inside for Brisbane forward 50. Little hand pass Rayner to Lyons. Kick towards Zorko. Came out from full forward. Nankervis came off his hand. Spilled the press here for Richmond. Just bombs it back into the centre. Oh, Brisbane have got 3-on-1. And Gardner's taken the mark. Little kick out here to the broadcast swing where Adams waits for it. So happy to slow it down now, the Lions, with just under a minute left to play in this first term and a lead of 12 points.
Oh, well, McCluggage got a push out and was lucky too because the Tigers had the numbers. So it comes back to McCluggage. He's at right half forward. Will now very predictable go long to the top of the square. Steph Martin's in good position. McStay's there as well. Punched away from him. Christensen taken high. Surely. Umpire says no.
Got blindsided.
Wow. Well, the crowd, here it is, Triple M. Oh, it's high every day of the week. He's missed that one. He'll ball it up. 30 out from the Lions goal. Triple M Bosch Tools replay showed it beautifully. Martin, here he is again. Second chance. This time he threw it.
No.
He got dudded. So it was a throw, and he's been picked up for it. And Edwards will take the free kick.
So Edwards deep back pocket. The Tigers under siege in the last 10 to 15 of this first term. And Brisbane with big numbers on their side. We'll get to those after quarter time. Edwards, long kick towards the wing. Andrews will thump it out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in about 60 around from Brisbane's goal. 31 and a half into the first quarter. Just a few seconds remain, about 20 left in the term. Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Alistair Clarkson and Brendan Bolton sitting together up there. Interested onlookers. Ball spun back into play. McCarthy, the bottom of the pack. Prestia tries to work it out for Richmond. Got it to Edwards. Hand pass over the top. Miss Lambert. Oh, chance for Rich. Beautiful underground hand pass to Zorko. Flying shot goes across the face of goal. And the relieving mark is taken by Asprey. Tigers under siege here at the Gabba. And the Brisbane Lions go in 12-point leaders at quarter time. Brisbane 4-6-30. Richmond 3 straight goals 18. Simon Black, Joey Montagna, Richard Champion, Barry Dinner, Belinda Mallon for McDonald's Triple M. Rocks footy. Quarter time in the qualifying final at the Gabba. The Brisbane Lions lead by 12 points. They're 4-6-30. The Tigers 3 straight goals 18. For both sides, all goals scored. Singles at the moment. Barry Dinner, Richard Champion calling the action. These men, Simon Black and Joey Montagna, to tell us about that first quarter, and wasn't it a cracker?
Yeah, Paz, it was. Richmond jumped out of the blocks, as we know, for the first 2 goals, but Brisbane really settled quickly thereafter. And some of the key stats from that quarter, boys, the clearance numbers to the Lions +6, contested possessions +14, and the massive stat, 16 more inside 50. So the time in forward half from the Lions, Joe, was enormous. We wondered how they'd settle in the heat of the furnace in the first quarter, and they did. They really did. They've had 10 scoring shots to 3 in that quarter. For Richmond, Dusty Martin's only had the 4 touches and Trent Cotch's the 2 in that first quarter. So they both want to lift, but big quarter from the Lions.
Huge quarter, 10 scoring shots to 3. They really dominated, as you said, Blackie, for about 20 minutes there in that quarter. And unfortunately, it's probably, as you said, only 12-point margin. So Richmond will probably go in saying, geez, boys, we're under the pump there and we're able to keep it to within 2 goals. But Brisbane, on the other hand, Chris Fagan should just be reinforcing, we're doing everything right. We're doing a lot right. If we continue to play this way, we're going to give ourselves a massive chance of winning this game. And I think the clearances too are important, particularly the centre clearances, because then if you can get it in your front half, Brisbane are such a good team at locking it in their front half, as they've done all year, and particularly in this game this evening. So clearances are going to continue to be important. Their pressure has been elite, and if they can just finish off with those goals, and particularly that last pass, I mean, Grimes took 4 intercept marks in that quarter. So when it goes on Charlie Cameron's head, Grimes will win that 8 times out of 10. But if they can lower the eyes in a little bit of space, let Cameron move around and dart like Rayner and Cameron did, and pass it in, they'll give themselves plenty of chances to score, champs.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Belinda?
Bit of dew gathering on the ground out there, Baz. Watch for it getting a bit slippery. Also, Mitch Robinson starting the quarter on the bike. He spent a lot of time in that break trying to stretch out that right hamstring.
Belinda Mallon looking after proceedings, and ahead of the game, as always, Bob Jane T-Marts has a month of big deals on big brands such as Bridgestone, Hankook and BF Goodrich. To start the second term, the Brisbane Lions lead it by 12 points here at the Gabba. To kick us off, here's 183 gamer himself, the great Richard Champion.
Thanks, Baz, for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Here we go in the centre again. Now the Tigers break away. Inside forward 50. There's only one home. And it's been taken by the skipper, we just mentioned, Cotchin. He's just had just 2 touches, boys.
Just 2 at this point, chance. Brilliant piece of play from Josh Caddy there, boys, out the centre bounce. Coming off the wing, met the ball, took on about 4 Brisbane players and kicked a beautiful ball into his skipper in Trent Cotchin. Well done.
And he's going to wind around here, kick it around the corner. As he pulled it a little bit too early, he has. So just through for a minor, but a good start to him in the second term. As Dan Rich will bring the ball back in.
Unusual to see Cotchin start basically in a forward pocket this quarter. He was on Luke Hodge there, so starting deep forward, the skipper.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments tonight, brought to you by Joey Montagna and Simon Black. 5 All-Australians between them. Hodge short into the back pocket. His teammate in Witherden, who runs now after marking. Player dragged down without the footy. It'll be a free kick to Richmond. Soldo to take it, as you heard from the umpire. He's on the true wing position, outer side of the ground. The Tigers have started the second term in their forward half. Early stages, 11-point lead to Brisbane. Long kick inside forward 50. Lynch caught behind Andrews, thumped to the front of the pack. Joel's got a little hand pass off Bolton, it was, who got it to Cotchin. Hand pass to Martin, gives it don't argue. And then he dropped the footy with the other hand, and now he's been pinged for dropping the ball. And the free kick will go to Brisbane at half back, and Zorko will take it.
So, good pressure, the kick. Yeah. Put McCluggage under the pump, but he was good enough to take the mark. Plays on immediately, switches laterally and goes short to Darcy Gardner. So he's back at centre-half back now. Harris Andrews provides some sort of option, but Luke Hodge is on the right-hand side and he gets it. So they've progressed no further forward-wise anyway. And now Hodge told to move it on. He again goes short. And Witherden out of side. Tigers have been really good at getting back quick and now putting the pressure on, so no option but to go long. Down the line, Martin comes out, ran through his hands. Soldo's hands were quick. Didn't hit the target though, but a free kick too high, says the umpire. And ought to go to Cochin.
So Cochin again, defensive side of the wing, outer side of the ground. Runs now, plays on, drives the ball, 45-metre drop punt to forward 50. And it'll be Lynch.
Geez, a lot of early engagement with the body with the scragging, isn't there?
As the ball came in, he was scragged, and the umpire's right onto it. So Tommy Lynch, the man on the mark, stands right on forward 50, and he's on a 45-degree angle. Actually walking in forward to the wing, outer side of the ground. Big crowd here at the Gabba, giving him plenty of support. It's 11 points up the lines before the kick, 3.5-second term. He's going to drop it onto his boot about 53, 54 metres out. There he goes. Big Tommy got under it a bit. It floats, it lands short. Rewalt flies, one hand in the pack, brought the ball to ground. Who's there at ground level? Adams does well. Made sure he hung onto the foot. He rolled through for a rush point. 4-6-30 the Lions, 3-2-20 the Tigers.
That was actually Tom Lynch's first disposal for the game for Red Z Lending. So much talk about his first final. Coming to Richmond to play in these big stages. Been pretty quiet so far.
So the Tigers will be looking for some catches from him very soon. Kick out wide, and right on cue, there he is again. So now we'll repel, put the ball long back, looking for Jack. He's 3-on-1, punched over the top. Bailey's going to run onto it. Will he? Gee, he almost made a bit of a meal of it. And Zach Bailey sees it through for a behind. And the umpire says, yep, all okay to bring it back in, which Dan Rich will do. So 9 points now the margin.
Short kick to Witherden. His kick is ill-directed outside defensive 50. Guess who? Tommy Lynch is marked again. So 3 Red Z Lending stats in a row for Tommy. Kicked it inboard towards Prestia. That was spoiled out of his hands. Now McCarthy slaps it down for Brisbane to Berry. Hand pass to Lyons over the top on the overlap. He's got Zorko. Baker came the other way. Zorko hung onto the footy as he's being tackled. Got back up with it and kicked it to half forward. Bouncing ball to Hitwood. And he sees it out of bounds. That was incredible. 52 out from the Lions goal, out of sight of the ground. And the lead is 9 points Brisbane's way.
He's almost back up off the ground before he hit it, wasn't he?
Well, he's got a low centre of gravity, Zorks, hasn't he? He certainly used it just then.
So throw in. Quick clearance by the Tigers. Out towards Harris Andrews. He did really well, got rid of his opponent, but kicked it straight to Cochin. So Cochin now and Lynch been really prolific early in this second term.
Cochin got it back again, then dummied the hand pass. He takes a bounce. Off half-back, drives along. Oh, big leap, Bolton. Massive screamer. Yolbiote brings it down, bounces back up, drives it to Lynch in the pocket, and he's got him. 15 metres out, 45-degree angle. Big Tommy will go back and have a shot for the Tigers.
Well done, Tigers. I mean, that's them at their best, isn't it? From half-back there, just move the ball so quick. What about that grab there from young Shea Bolton? That was a great hanger chance. But don't they just love to move the ball quickly by hand and foot? That one got Lynch free out over the back, got it over the top, and he took the easiest mark we'll ever take.
Started all right in this second term, the Tigers. 6 minutes into it now. They trail by 9 points. Lynch for his first goal of the match. The big man steps up, 20 out, drops it onto his boot, slams it home. He gets his first. Richmond get their fourth, 4-6-30 Brisbane. And Richmond 4-3-27. 6 minutes second term on the Triple M Installer Ream scoreboard. Solar continuous flow and storage hot water. Ream is Australia's favourite.
How about Tom Lynch? Didn't have a disposal in the first quarter, just the one mark, and now he's up to 4 marks, 4 kicks and a goal. So really got to work in the first 6 minutes of this second quarter. So good to see him now settle into it in his first final and hit the scoreboard.
And it can turn really quickly this game. And both him and Cochin have been right in the mix. Got the Tigers back in it. It was 12 points at quarter time. And it's back to 3. As we await the umpire for the restart for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. As we see the replay there with Bolton. It's a good hanger. Beautiful bounce by the umpire. Here we go again. Nankervis against Big Oscar. It's a clearance for Brisbane. The Tigers to get back in their numbers. And they're spreading really well from half back. And short goes long to Dusty. He's 3-on-1 though, and Adams comes over and punches it easy over the boundary line for a throw-in.
So the Tigers search again. Interesting start to the second term. Most of the play in their forward half. The Lions exploded in the last 15 minutes of that first quarter. 3 points up, Brisbane. Boundary throw in, fell short. Nankervis onto it, grabbed it, tried to hand pass to forward 50. Hodge read that beautifully. Ran off his opponent, grabbed the footy, hand pass off to Neil. Got an up and under kick towards the wing. Hurley tries to spoil, but a ripping mark taken by Rayner. Had a fantastic first term, kicked a beautiful goal from 50 metres out. He's got Luke Hodge back at half-back. Kicks it back to the veteran, who goes short and find Berry. Still on the wing here, Brisbane broadcast side. Berry plays on, drives the drop punt towards Hipwood inside forward 50. Lions flew as well. He paid the mark. He is. Oh, it might have been off a couple of hands. But Lions has been paid the mark. And the man on the mark's about 45 out. Lions on a 45-degree angle.
Just continues to impress Jared Lyons. He's now coming up for disposal number 10. He's already had 4 clearances as well.
So from Rayner's beautiful mark, Lions paid in front, correct decision in the end. Bosch Tools replay, kicks the ball across the face of goal, which bounces out of bounds behind a big pack. And there'll be a boundary throw in deep forward pocket for Brisbane. They have a 3-point lead. They go to the left of our broadcast position in this second term. And we're 8.5 minutes into it on the installer Ream scoreboard.
So dangerous position as far as the Tigers are concerned. They man everyone up. Charlie's on the move. Big Oscar does the work against Nankervis. Oscar goes hard again. Umpire will ball it up. This is where Lockie Neal's been really good at reading this ruck work. More so to Steph Martin than Oscar, but he's just as good. They tried it again, this time to Charlie. Little kick by Lyons to the top of the square. Hipwood went back with the flight of the ball. Couldn't quite clutch it. It goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. Hipwood's looked a little bit at sea so far, Blackie.
Yeah, just the one handball to this stage of the second quarter.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending, loan specialist for the self-employed. Boundary throw in, Brisbane deep forward pocket, throw a blanket around 10 players around the footy. Zorko tries to work his way through the pack. Coming out was Caddy. Caddy for Richmond, broke a tackle, drove a ball to the centre. It was Martin and Adams in a one-on-one, and Adams worked his way to the front. Martin grabbed the jumper, and Adams with a free kick for Brisbane. Kick short out to the outer side wing to Hodge. He marks and plays on the Rolls Royce. Goes on the right boot to Neil. The ball bounced off Grimes' shins. Neil could go again, but eventually it went out of bounds. 55 out from the Brisbane goal. They hold a 3-point lead, 10-minute second term. Bob Jane T-Marts, Belinda.
Ivan Soldo just getting a bit of work done by the physio on his calf, looking at a bit of discomfort.
Thanks, B, which means that Nankervis is in the ruck. Taps it down in front of Big O. Edwards taken to the ground without it, and umpire saw it. Now the play on. Bolton's in pursuit. Lynch gathers. Got it though to Ellis. He puts it into forward 50. Here's Bolton again. Been really clever. Kick smothered though by Hodge. Did really well. And his deft little touch around the corner was brilliant to find McStay.
How good's Hodgie been, Joey?
Just been cool, calm, hasn't he? Done everything they wanted. Been tough when he's needed to be. He's done a really nice start.
McStay's was a really good kick. It was a dangerous one, but it hit Zorko, and he's off and running. Here's Charlie or Rayner. Cam Rayner in front, takes the mark, 40 out, should go back and settle and have a shot.
Been superb, Rayner, hasn't he? Been fantastic. I would say out of form, but let's talk about whether he should be left in the side. But to this point in the second quarter, boys, he started fantastically well, and he has taken a couple of marks inside forward 50, kicked the goal already. This is his stat number 8 coming up for Cam Rayner.
Okay, so on the Triple M Red Z Lending stat sheet, 8 for Rayner, 1 goal so far. 40 out, 45-degree angle. We're right behind him geographically. We'll know it off the boot, and he's missed the lot.
Oh, goodness.
So that's an absolute Shakesville. Shocking kick by Cam Rayner. He's disappointed with that, as are the fans. Well, the Lions fans here tonight anyway. No further score.
So Grimes will bring it back in. Just did not come off the boot well. So the Tigers breathe again. Grimes' kick off the side of his boot as well. And Bailey, the ball favoured him, pushed off Ellis and took the mark for Brisbane. So he's at half forward, about 65 from home. A crowded forward 50. Does he pop it to the hot spot? He's hooked it slightly. Now the umpire's whistle's gone.
Tigers free kick.
Free kick to Richmond in a massive pack. And Asprey will take it. Triple M Bosch Tools replay. What'd you see, boys?
Yeah, Christensen just tried to stop Asprey from flying for the mark, held his arm, so free kick was there.
So Richmond through Asprey. Long kick outside defensive 50. It bounces behind the pack. Bailey will go again here. Driving little short ball inside forward 50. Mark not paid. Hipwood looks at the umpire and it's give it to me, boys. 40 up from Brisbane's goal.
Let's have a look. Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Oh, that's a grab. Or is it? Yeah, I reckon he kept it. Anyway, it's play on. They're not going to change it now. Christensen working really hard on the deck. Ellis over the top. In fact, it was Edwards over the top. Here it is again. Did he catch it, boys?
Yeah, I reckon that's a mark.
Yeah, it looks like a mark.
It didn't hit the ground. Play on is the call. At the top of the square, a lot of players. Tigers eventually clear it through Prestia, but it's out of bounds on the full. So Darcy Gardner will take the free kick. And he's 65 out from goal.
Well, the wind is blowing across this way, isn't it? It's the broadcast side, as Belinda said before the game. It's blowing into our face, so seen a few of these of late. Again, Gardner hooks the kick, so it goes to that pocket where the wind is blowing. Hipwood in a massive pack. Hand pass to Cameron, who has a little snap from the pocket, had more time than he thought. And he's hooked it and kicked a point. Brisbane out to a 4-point lead, 4-7-31, 4-3-27. The Tigs install a ream scoreboard.
So the Tigers through Hawley. Bring it out pretty quickly. To no one in particular, though. Adams was there. Little handball over the top. It's come to Zorko, though. Gets a little handball away. That could be a free kick. Umpire says, no, I'll ball it up. Lambert coming hard over the top.
Geez, Mitch Robertson coming at a million miles an hour on the outer wing there, champs. He is up sore and hobbling around at the moment. He hit a contest very hard.
Been good so far for his team. Whistle on play. And it's a Lions free kick. No one knew which way it was going to go, and eventually it goes to Jared Lyons. McCarthy runs onto it, grabs it at the half volley, now slips at the crucial time. He's going to be tackled and has turned it over.
So at half-back, Cochin just steadies for Richmond. Kick out towards the outer side wing. Rioli kept it in. Or did he? No, he didn't. So it'll be a boundary throw-in.
I haven't heard Rioli's name much either, boys.
Has not had a touch. No, he hasn't gone near it. It got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Nor has Broad. Castagna just has the one.
Gee, so the Tigers with some low numbers. Boundary throw-in. McInerney slapped to the side. Edwards goes on it for Richmond. Robertson lays the tackle. Ball spills. In dispute, bottom of the pack. McCluggage has his kick smothered. Punched out to the big man, Oscar McInerney. Tackled by the big man, Toby Nankervis for the Tigers. McCarthy, underground hand pass to Berry. Underground hand pass towards half forward for Brisbane. Hurley onto it. Rolled in the tackle. Ball held to him, said the umpire, and there'll be a ball up about 65 out from Brisbane's goal. They led it by 4 points. 15-second term.
Finals footy, Baz, isn't it? How red hot is that ball?
No easy touches.
Balls it up. Neil was clever. Little handball over the top. Ashby, though, very good. Clears for the Tigers. Punch forward. Witherden's going to run onto this first for the Lions. Overruns it, though. Harris Andrews could have been kicking in danger. Here's Lynch. Got rid of one. Handball over the top. Rioli fell at the crucial time, and Darcy Gardner mops up. And a little chip kick to Hodge.
Disposal number 12 coming up for Hodge. Most on the ground. Red Z lending. The old boy dominating.
And he is too. A little short kick is handy, and they'll just settle things down here, Brisbane, as they come out of defence.
Hansworth has it as he's on defensive 50. And he drives the ball out to the outer side wing. Over the top of the pack, a chance for Lions to run onto it. The ball rolls out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. Bob Jane T-Marts B.
Berry's off. He put his head in his hands and is talking to the physio in a lot of pain. He's up and about, walking around, trying to work out what I think is a knock to the right knee in a fair bit of pain.
Thanks, B. From McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Boundary thrown. McCluggage shrugs the tackler. Underground hand pass for Brisbane on the outer side of the ground. A quick kick inside forward 50. Or just outside forward 50 from Zorko. Got it to Robinson. Kick to the forward pocket. Cameron and Grimes. Grimes marked again. Well, he has done very well again, Dylan Grimes, against Charlie Cameron. And that's in the deep back pocket. He's got it in a 50-metre penalty.
A bit of frustration showing on Charlie's face too, I think, boys.
Well, he's just getting beaten 1-1. That's the issue at the moment. Charlie's got involved a couple of times. The ball's come to ground level, but Grimes 1-1 is all over him. 5
intercept marks he's taken so far, Grimes, and I reckon they've all been 1-on-1 v Charlie Cameron.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Joe Montagna and Simon Black. Seabus Super offering members insurance that covers building and construction workers.
Caddy takes on Bailey, and now puts it to the top of the square. Lynch flies, couldn't pull it down. And here's Rioli. We mentioned he didn't have a touch. Well, there's his first, and he's got a goal. Right on cue. We can bring anyone into form here on Triple M footy.
Yes, we can.
5-3-33 the Tigers. They hit the front. The Lions 4-7-31. 17.5 played second term on the Triple M installer scoreboard.
Who else do you want me to say hasn't touched it, champs, for Brisbane, and we'll get them into the game, because we said that about Rioli and Tom Lynch and Trent Cotchin for that fact. They've all had good impacts in this second quarter, but that's a costly 50-metre penalty by Charlie Cameron, boys. Brisbane have been so good in this game at locking the ball in their front half. Dylan Grimes would have had the ball deep in the back pocket. Brisbane would have had a chance to lock the ball in and have some repeat entries. Instead, they cleared the area and they went coast to coast. Costly goal for the Lions.
Well, Charlie's been dragged, Joey, out the other side there. He's got to have a chat to Chris Fagan, but you've got to see textbook roving off a pack. Rioli then, absolutely fantastic.
Triple M Bosch Tools replay, good better Bosch, professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories. It was wonderful work, as Simon Black said, from Daniel Rioli. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Ball tossed in the air. Soldo down to Prestia, but his hand pass goes straight to McCluggage, who kicks Brisbane. Bounces a kick inside forward 50. Zorko, brilliant. Hand pass Christensen. Hand pass to Rayner. Got to pick up the bouncing ball. Broke the tackle at Broad. Runs forward pocket. Hooks it badly. He steadied and had a shot. And he missed by a long way. 5-3-33 Richmond. 4-8-32 the Lions. It's tough. It's tight. It's close. 19 minutes second term. Here's champs.
Tigers now out of defence. Hodge in good position, punches away from Dusty towards the boundary line. It'll be a throw in, 70 around from the Lions goal. May have been some other options on there for Cam Rayner.
Well, inside 50s champs, 30 to the Lions, 14 to the Tigers. So domination from Brisbane at the moment, but the efficiency inside 50, 45% Brisbane, 57% Richmond. So just a bit more effective, the Tigers going forward.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending, loan specialist for the self-employed. Here's Barry Denner.
Ball slapped back straight out of bounds, champs. So from whence it came, we'll do it again.
Baz, I'd like to get Joey and Blackie's take on Charlie Cameron. Could almost start playing as a decoy almost and just get Grimes out of the play for a little bit. Just move upfield. What are your thoughts?
They might need to mix it up. It's not quite working at the moment, so I think Fagan will have to have plan B up his sleeve soon.
Martin down to Zorko, wrapped up in a tackle, has to give the footy up and does. Good tackles laid. This time was Bailey on Lambert. Ball spills back to the big man, Soldo for the Tigers. Got a quick kick away from a big pack, bounces to the wing. Castagna just punched it 10 metres Richmond's way. Andrews onto it. Beautiful hand pass under pressure to Rich. Another one back to Robertson. Stands defensive 50. Speared it back to Rich. Hung onto the footy as he's tackled. Got it to McCarthy. Went to go the first time. Hung onto the footy and immediately tackled. You can't get a step or two away, Black, under this pressure. This is fantastic finals footy.
Absolutely, that's a wake-up call for Lincoln McCarthy just there. Edwards just all over him, trying to take the step, as you said, but ain't got the time at finals time.
Got to give the first option. Long inside 50 now. Jack's been pushed under the ball. Umpire says play on. Darcy Gardner will mop up. A little short kick is okay to Lockie Neal. Still inside defensive 50. Plays on though. They're out here. That's a good grab by McCarthy. He was under the pump. Short was on his case. McCarthy took a good grab under pressure. He's now looking lateral, but there's nothing on. So again, they'll just bomb it to the hot spot. And Hipwood just looks all at sea at the moment, getting pushed under the ball too easily. Here's McCluggage, lost the cherry. Umpire said you lost the ball. It's holding the ball. It's a free kick to the Tigers.
Well, you mentioned Hipwood, champs. What Asprey's doing really well is just not allowing them to run and jump with the ball. To meet the ball at the highest point, probably higher than anyone out in the ground. Hipwood, but Asprey doing a great job.
Triple M Seabar super special comments. Simon Black and Joe Montagna as caddy from half-back, kicks the ball to the wing, broadcast side of the ground. Rayner tracks it, worked off it by Lambert. Lambert grabbed it, broke a tackle, tried to find the running player in Graham. It was a 2-on-1 against him, lost his balance. Hodge picks it up, came off half-back, drills a pass 20 metres to McCluggage. Marks just forward of the wing, broadcast side of the ground. Taking his time, kept the eyes low, got a player loose in McCarthy. Rayner running past, still 65 out from home. McCarthy just happy to put the ball on his hip and wait to pop it onto the head. 20 metres out the hot spot, and the big man. McStay has worked his way to the front of the pack. He did it in the first term, and he does it in the second. Beautiful one grab mark, and he's only about 25 out slide angle.
We see how the Triple M Bosch Tools replay here. Just had the perfect matchup. Loston was the man, not his direct opponent. He slipped his direct opponent in that scenario there, Joey. But great, nice mark from McStay.
Another set shot. Let's see how he goes. Did well in the first quarter. Oh, he's hooked it. Oh, it comes back a little bit, not enough. He hooked it badly off the boot. Scores dead level here at the Gabba. 33 apiece, 22 and a half second term. Triple M installer Ream scoreboard.
Yes, we mentioned those kicking stats. Going on about 30% at the moment. McStay, here's Rioli for the Tigers though. They've moved it really, really quickly because Stagner takes it. His first touch, 55 out from goal. Puts it to the top of the square. Dusty used his body really well against Dan Rich. Protected the drop zone, took the grab, and will have a shot from about 20 metres out.
Well, that's the confidence Richmond having Dustin Martin. When Castagna turned and saw Martin 1v1, he didn't even wait. He just kicked the ball anywhere near Martin and let him go get it. He knew that 9 times out of 10, he'd be too strong and too good for Daniel Rich in that situation.
Dusty's got one already tonight. This will put him a straight kick up. He's improving his angle with every step, which is smart play, and then slots it straight through the middle. 2 for Dusty. And the Tigers go one straight kick ahead. 39 plays 33. 23 and a half played second term. Triple M installer Ream scoreboard. Solar continuous flow and storage hot water. Ream is Australia's favourite.
And sometimes it just comes down to taking your opportunities, doesn't it, Blackie? We saw at one end, Brisbane are doing so much right. They get a good look, 20 out on a slide angle for McStay. He misses, goes down the other end, and the class of Dustin Martin doesn't make a mistake, kicks the goal, and all of a sudden, instead of it being a 6-point, 7-point lead to Richmond, to Brisbane, if McStay kicked it, it's now the Tigers that lead by a goal. Big swing.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Don't forget the Monopoly game is back at Macca's, and it's bigger than ever. Visit maccasplay.com.au for the full terms. As the umpire looks at the centre dot at the 24.5-minute mark of the second term. The Tigers reclaim the lead. They have it by 6 points. Bounce is good. Edwards onto it in the midfield at ground level. Worked off it with a hand pass, though. Spilled to Neil. Hand pass over to Lyons for Brisbane. Hand pass back to Neil. Wide kick to the boundary line. Grimes in front of Graham. Grimes in front of Charlie. Cameron has it. Hand pass off to Edwards. Hand pass to Wallace. Wrapped up in a tackle. Dropping the ball. Free kick to Brisbane. I'm not wanting to kick the footy. The Tigers wanting to share it around at half back. And Lyons gets up with it and drives it inside forward 50.
Looking for a big forward, pushed out. Was it Hipwood?
Big Oscar.
Big Oscar. Umpire spotted it. And Big Oscar McInerney will receive the free kick. 30 metres out.
The big
slide angle. And there it is. Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Hipwood was in the contest as well. But Big Oscar, geez, he went down like he'd been shot, Big Oscar. There wasn't much leaning on him. But you'll take it. So Oscar just checking out the breeze. It is a bit fluky, as Belinda Mellon mentioned. Swirls around the Gabba. Full house. This will tie the ball game away again if the Big O is successful. And he's not. He pushed it to the left-hand side. So they've really spoiled a couple of chances. One in the first term, or 2 in the first term, and that one there. A real let-off for the Tigers.
Jaden Short runs into the back pocket for Richmond. Drives the ball to Dustin Martin. 2 to beat in the air. Can't do so. Ground level footy. Robinson wrapped up by Martin. Hand pass comes out to Withard. Another one to Zorko. Big Dusty comes in again. Shoves him off the footy. Grabs it. He's tackled by Stephen Martin. The umpire says ball held to him. Good contest. Second, third efforts from Dustin Martin. The ball to be thrown in the air. Halfway between wing and half forward for the Brisbane Lions. They trail by 5 points at the 26-minute mark of the second term.
Dusty's really starting to put himself into the game now. Got a little clearance there, Castagna. Couple of touches for him as well. Now puts it long towards Lynch and Jack. Revolt couldn't. Here's Rich. Smothered. Here's Rioli again. It's going to Bolton. He's going to run into another goal. So Bolton has been exciting tonight. He's taken a great hanger and now has his first on the board. And just starting to gain a little bit of ascendancy here, the Tigers. 7-3-45 to the Lions 4-10-34. 26 and a half played second term. Triple M installer Ream scoreboard.
I hate to say it again, Blackie, but how often when you have opportunities in front of goal, you miss Baz and it goes down the other, and Richmond have done it again. Yeah. And that's what Blackie's talking about. They've been so efficient, Richmond, because it's almost like they're weathering the storm or Brisbane are shooting themselves in the foot and then Richmond are just going the full length of the field, having an open forward line, and are able to make the most of their opportunities.
What are the numbers like? What's the numbers tell you? I mean, we know Richmond have got the lead by 11 points, but you just still sense the numbers would be Brisbane's way.
Yeah, Brisbane are doing so much right. Absolutely. 33 inside 50s to 17. They're winning contested possessions. They're winning clearances. They're just not converting on the scoreboard. Simple as that sometimes.
Triple M Red Z lending stats for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Ball bounced down. Edwards goes out of the centre again. Hand pass to Prestia. Long kick for Richmond. A 4-4. Lynch in front. Brings it down. Who's front and square? Bolton lurks. Rich comes out for the Lions. He's under the pump. Spilled to Castagna. He's lost it in the handle. Hand pass off towards Zorko. Now a kick to the outer side wing. Running back with a flight of the footy. Baker did beautifully for the Tigers and took the mark. Short kick to Bashahuli. He marks just forward to the wing. Left foot drop punt. Back inside for the Tigers. Big leap Harris Andrews as he paid the mark. He is eyes on the footy. Didn't go for the spoil, went for the mark and got rewarded.
It's been a big improvement in his game this year, Baz. Ability to take those intercept marks. A critical moment right there for Harris Andrews and the Brisbane Lions to secure that mark.
Andrews now plays it safe, goes long down the line, looking for Big Oscar. Floats through his hands. Cochin's there, tackled. Ball comes to ground. Lambert's there for the Tigers. Couldn't grab it. Bailey's handball over the top of the head was okay. More so in hope than anything. And Berry's going to receive a free kick. Gives it to Big Oscar to Lions, but the siren's going to beat Brisbane. And the Tigers are going to go into half-time with an 11-point margin. 7:3:45 to the Lions, 4:10:34. Only went 28 and a half minutes that second term, but there was lots of fantastic footy played. Look forward to coming back for the second half, where Simon Black and Joey Montagna will break it all down. Don't go anywhere, stick with us. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
They are in the half-time break at the Gabba. The Lions led it by 12 points at quarter time, but Richmond on the big second term, they led it by 11 points at half-time. They're 7:3:45, the Lions 4:10:34. We'll be joined by David Noble shortly, the Lions General Manager of their football department. We've got Richard Champion here, Simon Black, and the great Joey Montagna. And Joe, you're looking at us, well, you've just kept your eyes on a future champion out there with the Little League. What's going on?
Yeah, watching the Little Leaguers. There's little Lucas Black running around.
Hello.
Simon's little boy, 5 years old, playing Auskick, and he just kicked a nice goal. Shows a bit of that black class out there, so it's pretty exciting for you, Blackie.
Yeah, Joe, it's good. He's just got into it the last sort of 3 months, so every time I'm at home in the backyard kicking a ball, Baz, at the moment, but no, he loves it. It's good fun.
Did you instruct him before the game? Because he got that ball at full back and he just kept running right through until he got the goal.
He's probably got a bit
10
more,
kids chasing him.
A bit more pace than me already.
Yeah. All the glory's in the goals. Got a couple of big finals coming up next week, of course. We know, Joey, about Geelong and the West Coast Eagles, and that sets up to be very, very interesting indeed. And it's always interesting first week of the finals. West Coast look good. They've got to travel. And the Cats not so flash last night.
Yeah, and we always get sucked in, don't we, every year. The team that loses at the qualifying final. We always seem to jump on the team that wins because obviously the win and the loss. But I think this time around, the top four probably didn't end up as we expected. I mean, West Coast probably should have finished top four, except for their poor performance against Hawthorn. So maybe it's a bit of a false top 8 this year. I think West Coast can come to the MCG and knock off Geelong in straight sets. I wasn't impressed at all with Geelong last night. I thought that if it wasn't for Paddy Dangerfield, they weren't in the contest really, and West Coast, I was at that game live on Thursday, they looked super. Their talent in the front half of the ground with Rioli and Ryan, etc. was awesome. They had their hunger back, and I'm pretty confident West Coast could beat Geelong next week.
Well, let's go ground level. Dave Noble, the General Manager of Football for the Brisbane Lions, has joined us as he does at half-time, and a terrific first half of final footy.
It is exactly what we were expecting. Yeah, look, we just lacked a little bit of composure in front of the sticks, I think. You know, most of the areas that we've adjusted, we're really happy with.
Yeah, David, that's what we noticed. It seemed like you're doing a lot right and you should be pretty confident that you're in the game. Just shot yourselves in the foot with some conversion, and then Richmond went down the other end and kicked some quick goals. Yeah,
those little windows, Lee, you know, as you know, in finals, you know, they open up. We've got to take those. Benefit for us is we've been able to create them. You know, so the boys are pretty bubbly still at half-time.
No, so Charlie Cameron, how is he at half-time? Obviously showing a little bit of frustration there with Dylan Grimes.
Yeah, no, he's good, Blackie. We certainly think he's got more space around him at the moment. So you might find he gets a little bit of a run through the middle, start a bit higher this quarter. But no, he's in good shape.
And you must be pleased, David. Some of the youngsters haven't seemed to be overawed by the occasion. I think Berry, McCluggage and Rayner have all been very good in the first half. Yeah,
they've all held their nerve really well. We certainly think we've got that front half pressure with the turnovers. And those guys have contributed to that pressure, you know, through that half-back and midfield, so they certainly don't look overawed at all.
And Dave, on a personal note, mate, congratulations. Your young fella's doing a great job at Collingwood.
Yeah, he had a great game. It was pretty exciting to sit there last night and watch him have a run around. So I was a bit worried when Paddy Dangerfield mowed him down there at one stage. But no, he did really well.
Thanks, David. Appreciate your time. Big second half coming up.
Thanks, guys.
David Noble, who joins our Brisbane crew every time here at the Gabba at half
pretty
time.
much every home game, Baz. He's really availed his time. And look, they've been in this position probably 50% of the time in their home games. They've only lost the one home game this year, Blackie, but they have come from behind a lot. So they don't seem to be phased in any way if they are a little bit down at half time, and they still remain very positive, and it's the case again tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, champs. I mean, they've been a fantastic third quarter side all year. And they just keep coming. I mean, even 2 weeks ago at the G, they were behind large parts of the game, but they just keep coming. They've got great character, this young fighting spirit of the Lions, so I expect that to happen in the second half.
Hey, make a case for the Tigers here. Now, they have the lead. They lead by 11 points, but the Red Z Lendings, they're still sort of trailing in that area. So what do they have to do to continue on with holding the lead? I mean, 14 scoring shots to 10 in favour of Brisbane. They trail by 11 points. So what would Richmond be looking at the half-time break and saying, this is where the areas we need to improve on?
Well, I think tonight and 2 weeks ago, they've been beaten in the clearance and contested ball numbers. In that second quarter, they won the clearances by a couple. But, if they do even break even in those two areas, Baz, I think, they're going to hit the scoreboard regularly on the back of that. So that's probably keeping Brisbane in the game a fair bit with the clearance and contested ball numbers. But, I suspect, Joey, if they can break even in those two key stats, they'll score even more.
Well, I think if Richmond break even in clearance and contested ball, they'll probably run away with this game. I think it's Brisbane's best shot. I think Richmond should be really pleased that their defence is holding up pretty well. As we said, Grimes doing a great job, Vlosten and Broad as well. So I think they've just got to try and win a bit more ball and get it forward of centre. So Dustin Martin starting forward this quarter. That's going to be a bit of the plan. They've got Shane Edwards has moved onto the centre bounce. So if they just get a little bit more action through the midfield, I think Richmond should be pretty comfortable that they're happy with where they're at.
The scoreboard this third quarter, the Simply Energy scoreboard. The Tigers up by 11 points on that at the moment. Don't forget, Simply Energy are giving you the opportunity to win the experience of a lifetime at the 2019 Toyota AFL Grand Final, if you don't mind, for you and three of your mates. So go simply to simplyenergy.com.au to enter. Hurry, and it ends tomorrow. AFL authorised Grand Final promotion, GF AFL 19/89. Here's Champs to kick us off in the second half with the Tigers leading by 11 points.
Thanks, Baz, for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Nankervis up against Big O. Prestia tries to extricate himself from the pack. Here's Edwards. Clearance in towards Dusty. Was he held onto? Whistle on play. It looks like it. Dusty receives the free kick. It'll go against Adams, and he'll have a shot on goal 20 metres out, almost directly in front. Already has two. The only multiple goal scorer on the field so far.
Champs, we see the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Yeah, they both grabbed a bit of jumper, but the side that the umpire was standing on could clearly see Marcus Adams grabbing a big chunk of Dusty, so free kick was awarded.
Maybe he didn't have to do it either. It looked like he had him covered, and the ball might have spilled out the back. But it's history now, and Dusty comes in for his third, rarely misses, and doesn't on that occasion. He's got three. And a good start to the Tigers in this third term. 51 plays 34, 1 minute into this third quarter. And that's on your Triple M Simple Energy scoreboard.
A nice little bit of coaching by Hardwick. We just said that. Start Martin forward, Edwards on ball. But, geez, that just shows the strength of Dustin Martin. The reason why Adams had to grab a hold of his jumper because he was shoving Marcus Adams, who's a man-mountain Baz.
Yep.
He's a beast.
Yep.
And Dustin Martin was about to shove him out the way. So just shows how strong, deceptively strong Dustin Martin actually is.
And it's that perceived pressure, isn't it, Joey? When you're playing on a great play, you think you've got to do more than you actually do. As you said, the ball was going to probably go over the back, Champs. And Dusty got himself a free kick on the back of it.
Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Beautiful bit of work from the superstar that is Dustin Martin. Good bit of Bosch. Professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Perfect start for the Tigers in the third term. Up goes the big man. Nankervis slaps it down towards Edwards, who's been good. He got legged, hand pass off to Prestia. Goes at it one hand along the ground. He's being smothered in the tackle by Lyons. He can't go anywhere. And the umpire will ball this up just forward to the centre for Brisbane. The Lions going to the right of our broadcast position in this third quarter. And the Tigers have started to the left with an early goal. Tap down to Edwards. Slaps a hand pass outside the pack. The ball's right in the centre of the ground. Neil swoops on it. Little hand pass to Hodge for the Lions. Rushed. Tumbling ball inside. Forward 50 to Rayner. Drop the mark. Spills to ground level. Prestia. Hand pass to Edwards, who streams through the centre. Long ball to Lynch. Goes one hand. Didn't take the mark. Andrews has got it. Lynch tries to reef the ball from his grasp. Rioli dives on top of Andrews. And the umpire eventually gives him some relief with a ball up 40 metres out from the Tigers' goal.
Just how quick it is. I mean, Rayner drops the mark 40 metres out, would have had a shot at goal, and then in the space of 3 seconds, the ball is now 30 metres out from Richmond's goal.
Throw up, Oscar. Lynch takes it out of the ruck, needs to get rid of it, and does. Neil somehow got a little handball to Rich. He in turn gets it to Mitch Robertson. He kicks the ball long out of side. Good contest there. Christensen and Broad. And it bubbles off their hands. Out of bounds for a throw-in out of side.
Champs, we're speaking about opportunities. Brisbane again, no greater opportunity to start this third quarter by Cam Rayner. They're coming out, spilled an absolute just
sitter.
A basic sitter chest mark, champs. So we've got to make sure when they go forward they maximise their opportunities.
Well, here's Edwards again. Just brought his own Sharon tonight. Little kick up towards Dusty. Punched away. Little handball in towards Adams. He's wrapped up. And umpire will ball it up, 55 out from the Tigers' goal.
Just some of the Redzett lending individual ball winners, champs. You're right, Shane Edwards the most on the ground, 17 disposals, Prestia 15, Lambert 13, and for the Brisbane Lions, Hodge with 14, Zorko 13, Lockie Neal got 17 for the Lions.
Ball thrown in the air, slapped immediately out of bounds. So another boundary throw-in, about 65 around from Richmond's goal. Started well, the Tigers, in this third quarter. They have the lead, 17 points up now, 4 minutes into it. And the Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard. Ball spins back into play. McInerney slaps to the side of the pack. Cotchin's onto it. Rode the bump from Robinson. That was brilliant. Short kick to Edwards. Marks on forward 50. Not long enough. Too short. Blayon said the umpire. Kicks to the forward pocket. Rewald's caught behind. And Gardner's taken the mark. But Cotchin just fantastic in the contest. Hung onto the footy. Gave the Tigers another opportunity.
Look on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Looks like Dion Prestia limping a little bit on the sidelines. We might go to Belinda shortly if she can get her head around that. See how serious that is. Oh, let's go down to Belinda. We've got an opportunity now thanks to Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Prestia just came off. He hobbled off quite badly and I read his lips. I can't repeat what he said, but it would indicate that he's in a fair bit of pain. No treatment though, so maybe just running so hard that it really hurts.
All right, thanks, Pete. Nan Curvis and Big Oscar go at it. Nan Curvis did his own roving. Got a little kick on the ball. McCluggage was taken high. No, says the umpire. Little quick hands by Harris Andrews were good to McCluggage. Kicks it up towards Hipwood. Takes the mark. Maybe his first for the night. I may be wrong. Triple M Red Z lending stats for Eric Hipwood. We'll get to that very soon. Kicks long down the line. Steph Martin taps it cleverly into the path of Rayner, who tries to escape. Eventually Martin, a little handball out of the top to Jarrett Lyons. Under pressure though, headed towards Zorko. He took it out of play and umpire will throw it in, about 55 out.
Yeah, first kick for Eric Hipwood, champs. He's just had the 3 disposals, 1 mark.
Ball to be spun back into play. Brisbane search now. 17 points, the Tigers lead. Getting towards the business end of the match. Who's heading to the preliminary final in 2 weeks? Boundary throw in, tap down to Neil. His hand pass cut off by Edwards for the Tigers. It's been terrific. Oh, Martin barrels a couple of lines away. He wins it, Dusty. Hand pass over the top to Rioli. He's on forward 50. Got a player running forward in Bolton. He flies over Daniel Rich. Rich under the pump. Got tackled and he's got the free kick.
That's a great contested ball by Daniel Rich, isn't it? Going back with a flight there, Baz. He's under the pump.
Goal
saving.
saving.
His feet.
Yep.
Such an important one-on-one to win. You're just sensing the Tigers are sensing that this is their time right now.
Dan Rich just waltzes away from fullback. Puts it up towards Berry, who takes the mark out of side. A little short kick, barely quite covered the required distance to Christensen. Umpire says it's all fair and above board. Now Christensen told to move it on. And he's at left half back, goes short to Hodge. Hodge now goes lateral into the centre of the ground. Darcy Gardner's there, takes it and runs. Short little kick is okay. Neil really had to stretch for it, but took it. 60 out from goals now. They need to move it quicker, Brisbane. Lockie Neal pulls the kick. Hipwood runs onto it. Flies high, couldn't complete the mark. Broad dropped it. Crowd one holding the ball. Umpire's not going to give it. Throw up will take place, or ball up will take place. 48 metres out. As you'll see, Hipwood on the Triple M Bosch Doors replay, almost pulling that mark in.
Trying to work his way into the game is Hipwood. Ball thrown in the air. Ground level ball. Player got caught high. Free kick to Richmond. They threw themselves at the footy, and guess who? Cochin was the first at the bottom of that pack. Gets up. Right foot drop punt towards the wing broadcast side. Lynch will push Andrews forward. Andrews held his position. Brought the ball to ground. Players piling on top of the footy. Umpire will ball it up again. Still on the wing broadcast side of the ground. 17 points as the Tigers lead. 8 minutes into the third term. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard. Simply Energy, of course, powering up the AFL.
So ball up. Nankervis tried to take it with him. Clever work. Neil. Little kick. Was half chopped off by Zorko. Now gathers. Spears a beautiful pass into Charlie Cameron. And this is what I'd like to see Charlie do. Just work away from goal a bit. Take Grimes out of the play. He's 70 out from goal. And now Spears a pass in towards McCarthy. But it bubbles over the boundary line for a throw-in. 45 around. He doesn't have to be within scoring range, Blackie, is my thoughts.
No, he's so creative with ball on hand. He's a wonderful kick, that ball, going inside forward 50, but they just got to get the ball in his hands first of all, don't they?
No goals to the Lions in the second term. We're 8 minutes into the third, still on the 4 goals. Ball's been kicked out of the wing for the Tigers. Oh, Rewald thumped it forward to Martin. He punched it to Lynch. He had past to Rioli. He's got no one in front of him. He's 60 out. Took a second bounce, lost the footy. Went back, picked it up, third bounce. Open goal to the Tigers. Rioli's got his second. Terrific rebound from Richmond. And they have done some big damage early in this third term. The Tigers 9-3-57. The Lions 4-10-34. 9 minutes into it. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
But what about the game sense there, Joey, by Dusty Martin? Just a clever little tap on. They've got the ball over the top to a teammate, which then started their flow forward. And Rioli there was the benefactor of some fantastic play from Dusty Martin. But clever play.
It was, yeah, very good contest on the wing, and that's what Richmond have been able to do. They win that ball, and all of a sudden they've got their speedsters getting out the back. Brisbane like to press up high. It's what works for them to be able to keep the ball in their front half. But if they do lose that contest, Daniel Rich was never going to catch Daniel Rioli in a foot race.
The Lions haven't kicked a goal since the 27th minute mark of the first term. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. The Tigers just keep coming. Now the bounce down not so flash. Steph Martin made the most of that. Got it towards Prestia, who got a little handball to Graham, who puts it inside the forward 50. Rioli again. Oh, it's hit the post. It just had to bounce the right way for him. He would have had 3 on the board. Hit the post on the McDonald's padding. And Dan Rich will bring it back in. But, gee, they're looking dangerous now, the Tigers, aren't they?
Tigers have got the run. And Rich at full back will bring it back in. Runs into the back pocket for Brisbane. Beautiful long left foot drop punt out to the outer side wing, and Berry in front of a big pack takes the mark. So it fell short. Berry was onto it. He's at defensive 50. Oh, he's kicked it wide out in the full. He's hugging those boundary lines at the moment. Baker will bring it back in for the Tigers.
Baker to right half forward. Revolt comes late. Couldn't complete the mark. Witherden's kick had to be spot on, and it was to Hodge, to Neil, by hands. McCarthy, now to Christensen. Long inside forward 50. And forwards just seem out of position at the moment. The Tigers just doing it too easy. Again running out of there too high. Baker will take the free kick, plays on, switches the handball. Ellis around the corner. Jack from behind. But there he is. Harris Andrews, the big punch over the top, over the boundary line for a throw-in out of sight.
Well, this has been the improvement from Richmond this quarter. They're leading contested possessions 18-10 and winning the clearances 7-4. So that's Brisbane's one wood. If they want to get back in this game, the Brisbane Lions, they need to start winning the clearances and contested ball this quarter.
Joe Montagna, the Triple M Red Z lending stats. Boundary throw-in. Players dive in on top. The umpire will ball it up. It's that defensive half again, isn't it, for the Tigers just standing up again?
Yeah, it is. They just prey on that turnover at half back, and they get numbers there, and they handball, flick it on really quickly and get that fast ball movement forward.
So Zorko grabbed the footy, wrapped up in a tackle, ridden to the ground. The umpire rightly calls for the ball to be thrown back up in the air. Martin and Soldo tap behind the Gardner. Now to Hodge out of the back pocket. Squeezes a kick through a big pack, ran along the ground, but Ellis was waiting for it. He's 60 out. He goes to Martin in the pocket. Spoiled in the marking contest by Adams, and the ball rolls out of bounds. But again, deep forward pocket for the Tigers. They have a 24-point lead now, Richmond, and we're 12 and a half into the third term of the Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
As we await the throw in, Martin takes front position. Rewalt does it right. Where Dusty, he's got another one. Dusty's got 4. We mentioned from the outset, this guy needs to be shut down to give your team a hope, and he's just doing as he please, the great Dustman. 30 points a diff now. The Tigers edging it out. 10-4-64. The Lions 4-10-34. 13 played, third term. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
It was Dusty at his best chance, wasn't it? Just flying through a stoppage. Boundary throw on there, and Dusty just started to, the defensive side for Richmond, just flew through the front. Great piece of ruck work. You see here the Triple M Bostil's replay. Flew through at a million miles an hour. Lands right in his lap, and just you can't give him an inch, as we know. Beautiful, well-executed piece of play from Richmond and Dusty Martin.
And it was smart play by Dustin Martin. He had Marcus Adams on him, so he thought, well, Marcus Adams and I in the goal square, I'll go into the stoppage where Marcus Adams not used to it, and he just slipped straight by and was too clever.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments, Joey Montagna. And also Simon Black from McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Tigers out of the centre again. Prestia drives the ball to Martin with 2 to beat. Adams got around him this time, grabbed the footy, hand past Gardner, who's worked out of bounds before Gardner's kick got away. So there'll be a boundary throw in about 40 metres around from Richmond's goal. They're rampaging now, the Tigers. Their tails are up.
Yeah, 3 goals, 1 to no score this quarter, and it's all off the back of their clearance and contested ball work. We just said at half-time, I thought if Richmond broke even in that category, it would be to their advantage. Not only are they breaking even, they're winning it and they're putting it on the scoreboard.
Well, Steph Martin actually got that tap down, and Dusty just read it like a cheap novel. And again, Martin in front. And here they go again. This time, Bolton. He's been exciting tonight. That kick on goal is a little bit to the left-hand side and out of bounds on the full. But he's been exciting for them. And we mentioned there are a couple of quiet plays in that first term, but everyone's now really contributed for the Tigers right across the board.
Oh, short kick from Hodge wasn't 15. You heard from the umpire, so Gardner had to give it back to him. And the veterans kicked a real wide ball out towards the outer side boundary line. It went out in the full. So the time clock says 14 and a half third term. And the lead is a very handy 30 points for Richmond. Castagna will bring it back in. Backside on the fence, 65 from home. Pops it to the hot spot. Lynch! He worked his way into the pack and just shoved a couple out of the way with his big body and took a beautiful one-grab mark. And he'll take it 15 out on a 45-degree angle. Danger signs for the Lions.
Only one who wanted it, boys.
That's what he was brought to the club for, champs. Big finals, contested marks. There was a pack of about 5 or 6 players in it. And you're right, he wanted it the most. He used his frame, put his big mitts up and took the mark 20 out straight in front.
This Harris Andrews hasn't given him much space all night, but just trailed on that occasion, which allowed him to clunk that grab.
Kick 1 in the second term, and he's got 2 for the night. Oh, the Tigers will be tough to toss from here. They've got out to a 36-point lead. They're 11-4-70. And the Lions 4-10-34, 16 minutes third term on the Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
Really important for the Lions now, Black, isn't it, to hang in here and just show some sort of resilience and some fight, not only for this game and try and get back in it, but they've also got next week. So they don't want to just drop away and let this game peter out and really have some negative effects from this performance. So they've got to have their leaders, I think, are the ones who've got to stand up now.
Yeah, it's a test of the maturity right now, isn't it? It is. This can get blown out very quickly. We know Richmond can score quick, but so can Brisbane. But they're going to have a bit of gumption about them to be willing to fight and grab this momentum back and get back to three-quarter time within a distance of the scoreboard that's manageable for the fourth quarter.
Well, the Monopoly game at Macca's is back and bigger than ever. Visit maccasplay.com.au for full terms. And, of course, for McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Back at the restart. Brisbane needs something here. Bailey, through a series of handballs, eventually ends up with Witherden. Little kick over the top to Jarrett Lyons. It needs to sit for him. It's not. He's in trouble, though. Need to get rid of it, Jarrett. He's got to be done. Had prior opportunity, ran into trouble. and wrapped up by Caddy and also Prestia, and Prestia will take the free kick.
The chaps, that's the kick from Witherden off half back. He had Jared Lyons a lot of space. He just butchered the kick, which put Jared Lyons under pressure. Like not a good enough level from Witherden then.
Short kick to Baker was called to play on, didn't travel the required. Here's Lambert, picks it up at ground level. The handball's okay. Now Castagna puts it towards Ellis. Is it okay? Yes. Berry took the mark and is allowed. A little kick out wide is okay. So the Lions looking to draw something here.
Hipwood's gone into the centre, but it was cut off that kick by Edwards. Edwards has got players everywhere. He kicks to Bolton at half forward. Hand passes to the running Caddy. He saddles up, goes for home. 50 out, puts it through. The Tigers are lighting up the Gabba. And they are out to a big lead. 42 points at the blink of an eye. 18 minutes third term. Richmond 12-4-76. Brisbane 4-10-34. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
Well, they've just flexed their muscles, the champs, this quarter. Their pressure's still red hot when they're winning the footy. They've got some bounce and some zip, a lot of numbers, and they're just looking really potent now. So crucial for Brisbane to find something. They've just got to shut the game down for a little bit. I mean, that's 5 goals in 18 minutes this quarter for Richmond. So I think just for a couple of minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, Brisbane have just got to slow the game down, wrestle it so they can just try and get something back, because this could get out of hand pretty ugly.
A goalless second term for Brisbane, and again, yet to put a major on the board halfway through this third. They need a major or two, and they need it really quickly. From McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Rayner taps it forward. Here he goes again. The handball, though, goes awry. McCluggage does his best, trying to get it forward. Eventually it does. Here's Berry. Jared Berry needs a major. Push it to the right-hand side. Through for a behind.
Autobahn around the grounds, Joey. Let's go over to England, where the Australians are in a big test match.
Yeah, they've taken a wicket, Mitch Stark, so they've got their Poms 7 for about 240, I think, so still lead by about 220. You've got to get these last 3 wickets and get in and back.
All right, let's get them before we go off here tonight, Joey. Let's work hard on that one. Edwards in the centre of the ground. Richmond dominating this third term. A scrubby kick, though, allowed McStay in to slap it to big Stephen Martin. Hand pass off to young Bailey, broke a tackle, and then he shoved a kick that travels sideways through the air and bounces inside forward 50, broad in front. Brings the ball to ground for Richmond. They pile in on top of him. And the umpire will ball it up. In fact, we've got a blood rule here, so we've got a blood rule on Edwards, I'd say. He's being sent off the ground for the umpire. Perhaps some of the big Red Z lending stats you got in front of you there, Joey. Big lead for Richmond at the moment, 41 points.
Yeah, some of the individual ball winners. Shane Edwards for Richmond's had 21 disposals, 15 of those contested. He just creeps up on you with his performance week in, week out. Dion Prestia, 20 disposals, 12 contested. Lambert, 14. And, of course, Dusty Martin with the 4 goals. And for the Brisbane Lions, Lockie Neal leading the way, 21 disposals. Only 4 clearances after having 14 against them a few weeks ago. Luke Hodges had 19 disposals, been excellent. Jared Berry and Jared Lyons, 15 each.
Thanks, Joey. So play resumes. Martin taps it towards McStay. Fell over at the crucial moment. McCluggage, can he start something for Brisbane? He's got the first major on the board. Well, it's been a long time coming. It's the 27-minute mark of the first term, and they finally got another major. And it was just an opportunistic goal for him. 12-4-76 now, the Tigers. The Lions 5-11-41. 21 played third term. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard. Simply Energy powering up the AFL. Here's Simon Black.
Yeah, wonderful goal there from the classy Hugh McCluggage. He's had a reasonable night to this point. 15 disposals. It's his first goal. Had 5 clearances. He's had a wonderful year in the All-Australian group of 40. And he just worked great. Just turned up. Got a cheeky little handball received from McStay, who slipped over and just on the flyby snapped over on his right foot. He's a classy finisher.
Triple M Seabus Super special comment. Simon Black, Joe Montagna, Seabus Super offering members insurance cover that protects building and construction workers. So the Lions get one back. What can we do here? So the ball will be brought back to the umpire. That's what they'll be thinking. Can we get a rally in the last few minutes of this third quarter? 35 points the Tigers lead. Richmond have been brilliant. Martin again, bottom of the pack, got good. No, Thought he got a slap across the chops, but the umpire eventually pinged him for dropping the ball. Cochin trying to hold the footy up. Zorko gives him a bit of a ruffle at ground level, and the ball eventually goes back to big Stephen Martin. So he's right in the centre of the Gabba. Drives a drop punt about 40 metres to the leading player, Gardner, who ran off half back. Has to track the bouncing ball to the boundary line. Slipped over. Bolton's got him, but he got him high. So Gardner gets the free kick for Brisbane. He's looking backwards and sideways. Now he looks inside forward 50. And he looks at a pack of about 20 players. Pops it into the hot spot. Who's going to fly? Grimes is there. Brought it to ground. Zorko can't trap it. Hurley tried to run through the pack. Eventually he's dragged down. And 35 out from Brisbane's goal. The umpire to ball it up.
22 and a half played, third term. The Lions, hard to believe, they led it by 12 points at quarter time. They've been outplayed since. Rioli wraps up Ainsworth at the 50-metre mark. Here the umpire. The responsible ruckman are picked out. Here's Zorko, needs to get rid of it. Vlosten runs onto it, clears for the Tigers. Up towards right half back. Robinson and Caddy in pursuit. Tapped on by Bolton was clever. Harris Andrew leads in the race for the ball. Caddy puts a spoil on and then runs it out of bounds out of side. The Lions a little bit lacklustre at the moment. Not too much happening for them going forward.
Ball thrown back into play, out of side wing. Neutral territory. Who gets the clearance? Soldo and Martin both wrestle each other to the ground. For the ball opportunity for Graham. For Richmond, got a little kick forward as he fell to ground. Robinson there for the Lions at halfback. Rushed the kick back towards the wing. Dropping back with a fly to the footy was Edwards. Little hand pass off to Prestia. Another one off to Caddy. Now drives the ball inside forward 50 for the Tigers. Lynch caught behind. Adams in front. Didn't bring it to ground though. Swooping on the footy was Lockie Neal. Goes short towards McCarthy, who marks a true centre halfback for the Lions.
So McCarthy looks to his right. He's got Hodge. Hodge needs to move it quickly to Berry because he's on. The kick needs to be spot on, and it is, of course, from the champ. Could go over the top to Witherden, and he does the look out. Shorts just read it beautifully. Just takes the easiest of marks and then switches here to Edwards, who brought his own share in the night. Long kick, however, towards Dusty. Hodge did really well. The experience of Hodge there really shone out.
Hodge is putting in a fantastic game in this qualifying final for the Lions. What's his numbers, Joey?
Yeah, 21 disposals, 8 marks, 4 rebound 50s, and just been controlling that back line.
Yeah, the Rolls Royce has brought it tonight. As Christensen run down and the tackle spills to Ainsworth, who spun out of a huge bump. Kept his eyes on the footy and kicked inside forward 50. Fall of the ball was Zorko. He had a kick as he fell to the ground. And the ball goes out of bounds. Boundary throw-in. Belinda Mallon, Bob Jane teammates.
Brought off, limping badly and straight down to the rooms.
The ball went through for a point in the end. 5-12-42 the Lions. 12-4-76 the Tigers. 25 third term. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
Just rushed that kick, Zorko. I think he had some players in board. He could have just maybe flicked off the handball too, but was in such a rush to try and get the goal. He had a quick snap and didn't look for his teammates.
So the perceived pressure of the Tigers once again playing its part as they come out of defence. And they're away here. Lynch has really come into his own. The kick, however, well, it's going to favour Dusty. He's looking for a handful. He can't quite get away from Hodge. Hodge wraps him up. What will the umpire do? Holding the ball, Dusty.
Geez, he got lucky there, champs, didn't he, Hodgie? He was
gone, wasn't he?
Sweating bullets with the ball running out in front of Dusty Martin, but Dusty slipped over, and Hodgie all day after that was going to wrap him up.
A very rare fumble for Dusty Martin, and Hodgie had a wry smile on his face. He knew he was done, I think.
Kicked out to Rich, out of side, switch play across half back. Now a kick to the outer side wing to Robinson. Robinson drives a low drop punt, 45 metres to half forward. Zorko in front takes a mark. He's busting a gut, is Dane Zorko. The skipper kicks into the forward pocket, ill-directed though, and Soldo drops back in the back pocket, the big ruckman for the Tigers, and takes the mark.
And Bass, it's just too much of the same thing from the Lions going forward at the moment. Just blazing away. They need to have someone coming at the kick out, lower the eyes and hit up and forward coming out.
34 points is the Richmond lead as we head to three-quarter time. Long kick to the wing, outer side of the ground. Off hands, it's Caddy. Look at him run. Picks it up, the bouncing ball. Taps it on the ground for a second time. He's across the wing now. Hand pass in front of Bolton. It was tough for him. Oh, but two Lions players ran into each other. Spilled back to Bolton, who's on forward 50. Hand pass over the top. Castagna's going to have a shot from the pocket. Oh, boy. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Richmond magnificent. Not my voice. Richmond 40 points up the Tigers. 27th, third term. It's not that funny, Joey. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
A really significant period of your life, Barry. When I have to say, just hang in there. But no, look, it started again with an intercept mark deep in defence for Richmond. As Blackie said, Zorko again, I reckon he just rushed it a little bit. He was eager to get the ball in deep, but he just needed to wait for the forwards to make a move and actually lead at him to try and find a target. And then from there, the Richmond team, they do it so well. Counter-attack from an intercept mark, and the forwards too quick, too explosive, and Castagna with a nice finish.
They're the kings of chaos, Richmond, aren't they? They just love turning that ball over and just working it out from there. Whether it's a quick little kick champs or just linking up by hands, the ability just to extricate through traffic from half back is fantastic to watch.
Oh, Baz has lost his voice, and the Lions have lost the plot here at the Gabba. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. They trail by 40 points. The Tigers look very, very good. Hooley comes out, meets the ball, progresses it forward. He's got plenty of teammates and assistants. Inside forward 50. Hodge lets it go through. Here's Dusty looking at a handful. UBLD! Dusty's got 5 and has just made this game his own. Geez, good to watch. 46 points to diff now. The Tigers grab control of this game on the Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
It's just such a good card to have up Damien Hardwick's sleeve, isn't it? That when he wants, he can put Dustin Martin inside 50. And even for me, it looks so dangerous every time the ball goes inside 50, doesn't it? And he went with it at the start of this quarter, and he's been rewarded because Dusty's kicked, 3 goals in this quarter, and that's broken the game open.
It's just sensational from Dustin Martin. He's so efficient inside and so dangerous if you can isolate him one-on-one. 46 points, the Richmond lead. And the Tigers certainly at this stage heading to a preliminary final. Still a quarter to play, but they look unstoppable at the moment. Bottom of the pack, the Tigers again back out towards Edwards, who's been magnificent. Terrific hands to Castagna. Punches it forward to Prestia. Runs to 55. And kicks it out of bounds on the full. So Hodge will bring it back in. But a 46-point lead to Richmond as we approach three-quarter time, 29.5 minutes in, Joey.
Yeah, just Shane Edwards' quarter. 12 disposals, 5 contested possessions, 2 clearances. Been enormous.
What's his total disposals at the moment?
He's up to 24 disposals, 15 contested.
Wow. Great game. And he's not Robinson Crusoe out there. Plenty of teammates doing their thing. Big Oscar trying to do something for his team. But they've turned it over again. Here's Edwards again. Another little handball underground. Hooley's hands were good. Edwards once again. Now inside forward 50. And then Curvis went with the 1 mitt. Spills down to Dan Rich. Is Rich taken high? Play advantage, says the umpire. So Lockie Neal grabs it and runs away. Kick up towards McStay. Takes the mark, wants to get on with the job and does. He's on his left. 60 out from goal. Charlie's on the lead. Gathers. This is where he's at his best. Charlie snaps around the corner. Too much. Christensen was at the top of the square. Puts his head in his hands.
Look at the Tigers come straight out of full-back. Ellis marks at half-back. 45 points. The lead to Richmond. 31 third term. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard. Hooley has marked at half-back. Goes short to Baker. Berry over the top, Spalls. Baker good enough to go back and pick it up. Hand pass over the top of Berry to Ellis. Defensive side of the wing for Richmond. Drives a kick 45 metres to true centre half forward. Nan Curvis punches it down to Lambert at ground level. Wrapped up in a tackle by Robinson. Ripping tackle from Mitch. Punched the ball out to Witherden. No free kick paid, so he kicked it out to the outer side wing. Big Lynch runs onto it for the Tigers. Got there first. Hand pass off now. Another one inboard from Presti to Cochin. Cochin now low ball to the pocket. He's gone to Dusty Martin. Adams in front this time, the big body. But Marcus Adams sees the ball out of bounds. Deep forward pocket for the Tigers. But still Richmond doing all the attacking at the moment. Blackie, they've been all over the lines in this third quarter.
Absolutely, yeah. As Joey said, they've flexed their muscles here. They're just dicing the lines up at the moment. And looks like every time they go forward, they're going to score.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. So from the throw-in, Oscar and Nankervis do the ruck work. And in pack forms, umpire will ball it up.
Just watch Dustin Martin here at this stoppage. He's got Marcus Adams on him. He likes this matchup in a stoppage.
So Adams watching him carefully as the rucks go at it. Neil's kick around the corner. It was a mark. It just covered the required distance. Answorth, little kick is okay. Ends up with Mitch Robinson. Just outside defensive 50 now. Mitch will take his time to progress the ball forward. They'll just have to regroup at three-quarter time and see what they can bring in the final term. The kick is long down the line. Lyons does a little don't argue on Prestia. The quick kick forward now. McCarthy was looking for Christensen. He's outgunned 3-1. He's wrapped up. A ball up will be a win. And it will be 55 out from the Lions goal.
So a late opportunity for Brisbane. Just 1 minute left to play in this third quarter of game time. Pack of 12 players underneath it. Hand pass comes out to Christian on forward 50. Gave it to Lyons by hand. Hand pass to Robinson. Mitch from 50. Long drop punt goes across the face. And through for another behind to Brisbane. That's their 14th. 5-14-44. For the Tigers 14-4-88. And that's 33 minutes into the third term on the Simply Energy scoreboard.
Well, the Lions have had one more scoring shot in this game, Baz, but hugely ineffective or inefficient with their accuracy.
44 points. Blackie is the margin. Here's Berry trying to do something for his team. He's wrapped up, somehow got a kick to it, and it's got to fall to Christensen. Well, that was more so out of luck than good management. Christensen being in front, right spot. Takes the mark and will kick from about 38 metres out. So this will be handy on the siren of three-quarter time. Just to give the Lions a hint. So Christensen hasn't kicked one so far tonight. And he snuck that one home. So the faithful here just hang on to a little bit of hope as we approach three-quarter time. It's 38-point margin favouring the Tigers. 14-4-88 to the Lions. 6-14-50. 34 minutes played in this third term. Triple M Simply Energy scoreboard.
Well, we see on the Triple M Bosch Stills replay, champs, just a clearance from the Lions here, just getting it forward. No real magic in it. Just a quick forward from Jared Barry and playing in front, Alan Christensen. But that's what they need. They just need a bit of luck to go their way. They obviously can take their chances when they go forward, but massive lead in the scoreboard now from the Tigers. So, but as Joey said earlier, they're just got to keep at it, Brisbane. For next week, it's hugely important for their confidence and morale. They continue to grind away in this fourth quarter.
Well, for the Red Z lending stats, as Blackie said, they've still had 2 more shots on goal. They're still leading clearances, leading contested possessions. Just haven't been able to hurt them on the scoreboard. 6 goals, 14 in accuracy.
38 points to lead to the Tigers. It'll be three-quarter time in a couple of seconds for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. And what a massive third quarter in a qualifying final for the Tigers. 7 goals to 2. They've blown it away on the scoreboard. The Tigers 14-4-88. The Lions 6-14-50. And one of the superstars of the competition, Dustin Martin, was front and square. He kicked 3 goals in the third quarter, and he has kicked 5 for the match. Joey Montagna, Simon Black, Richard Champion, Barry Denner, Belinda Mallon for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. Oh, 7-goal third term for Richmond. And they have put the final series on notice here tonight at the Gabba. They're 14-4-88. The Lions 6-14-50. Barry Denner, Richard Champion, Simon Black and the great Joey Montagna here tonight. And gents, what about the Triple M Red Z lending stats? What do they tell you about this big 38-point Richmond lead? Well,
one significant one for mine, Baz, is the tackle count. Richmond 56 tackles to Brisbane 43. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, Richmond did not have one forward 50 tackle for the whole game. That's Castanga, Rioli, Lambert and Bolt. Not one amongst them spit it out. But tonight they've had 14 up there in the forward 50. So their pressure has been enormous. The ability after that third quarter in particular to keep the ball in their forward half of the ground was first class. And they went forward and they're efficient, aren't they? Obviously, Dusty Martin kicked the 3 in that third quarter. Fantastic dynamic. And Richmond as a whole side were far too good for Brisbane.
just efficient, as that's all it was when they went forward. They've still had 7 less inside 50s, Richmond. So it's more about when they get it in, it's quality rather than quantity. Brisbane still lead most of the categories, clearances, contested ball, possessions, marks, etc. But it's just as we've spoken about all game, you can't hammer it more. At the end of the day, if you don't kick it through the big sticks, you can't win. And Brisbane have probably shot themselves in the foot earlier in this game, and Richmond just make the most of their opportunities. 14 goals for. You couldn't be much more accurate than that. Obviously led by Dustin Martin and his brilliance down there. So still plenty to play for the Brisbane Lions. They know they've got another game next week. They've got to still have that real belief and confidence in their system and what they're doing and how they play. So they've still got a lot to play for, even if they don't win this game, because they're going to be facing a red-hot GWS Giants up here next week.
Triple M Red Z lending stats with Martin on 5 goals, Rioli 2, Lynch 2. The multiples for the Tigers. And the Lions goals, all singles. Of course, Red Z lending loan specialists for the self-employed. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy, as Richard Champion kicks us off for the final term here tonight at the Gabba, with the Tigers up by 38 points over the Lions.
Lions haven't beaten the Tigers here at the Gabba since 2004. Will that trend continue for McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy? Here they go again. Prestia out of the middle. Little handball over the top to Steph Martin. Just hoiks it out wide. Looking for someone, and he's found Jared Berry. Little kick by Berry is okay. Finds Robertson. Quickly gets on the bike and kicks it long up towards Big Oscar and Hipwood. And eventually it goes over the boundary line for a throw-in. 30 around from the Lions' goal. It's quite the staggering stat, isn't it? 15 years since they've beaten the Tigers here at the Gabba.
Ball to be thrown back into play. So Brisbane inside, forward 50 early. Punch down to ground level. Edwards again. Bottom of the pack, kicks the ball outside defensive 50. Rich punches it back in for Brisbane. Huge numbers around this footy. 16 players still in dispute. Baker swoops on it. Dragged down in a tackle to get a hand on the footy. He did. McCarthy, hand pass over the top towards Martin. Laid the tackle on Vlosten. And it was high. The big man got him high. So Vlosten's got the free kick at true centre half back for Richmond. A magnificent performance from their back half again tonight. As I say that, a kick off the side of the boot. Broad tries to track the ball, but it bounces out of bounds. And it's about 70 metres around from the Lions' goal, broadcast side of the ground.
So Steph Martin sets himself against Nankervis. Takes front position, does Martin. Nankervis did really well, though. Reading it best, though, was Zorko. Puts it to the top of the square. And looks like a mark's been paid. And it'll go to Lincoln McCarthy. He had 2 or 3 cracks at it, and eventually was adjudged the mark in front of Baker. 20 metres out, slide angle.
And not too often Lincoln McCarthy would have the height and size match up on someone, but he did on young Liam Baker there and took a nice contested grab.
15 gone.
So 15 gone. We'll need to address his approach very shortly. Now he does. Be the ideal start Brisbane need if they're to get back in this game. McCarthy stabs that. He's missed it. My goodness. Gee, that's bad shooting on goal, isn't it?
Not their night at the moment. The Lions, 37 points to lead to the Tigers. 2.5 final term. Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. Kick to the wing here. Broadcast side. Gardner fights for it for Brisbane. Lost it in the tackle though, and Rioli picked it up. Hand pass to Dusty Martin. Advantage paid on a free kick. He drives the ball in towards forward 50. Lynch crashed the pack, then went and picked up his own footy. Didn't go for goal. Put it on the head of his teammate Rewalt. Jack tries to juggle the mark in between two. Rioli swoops on it, bumped on the kick. Lockie Neal grabs it in the back pocket for Brisbane. Kicks outside defensive 50 out of side. And Eric Hipwood, big Ecker, takes the mark.
And the kick was amazing from Lockie Neal. Under pressure, hit his target.
Keep your eye on Rioli. He's a bit of trouble, Joey, limping around.
As the ball goes out of side and throw in. In fact, it'll be a free kick, or is that out of bounds on the full? So Vlosten takes it, then goes short to short. Who goes long? Work that out. Inside forward 50. Snap on goal by Jack. He's just to the left-hand side. Does it score behind? No, it's touched out of bounds. Here's Rioli. Triple M Bosch Tools replay. His leg was smothered with the ball and just got caught up underneath. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on him. Didn't look too serious.
He's still on the ground. Oh, Stephen Martin has his kick smothered. It bounced off Revolt's head. He's okay, so it was funny. And at the bottom of the pack, the umpires played a free kick. That was
Funny for who, Baz?
It didn't look like he winced in pain, so funny for us.
Hasn't had the greatest night, Revolt.
There we go. Triple M Boss Tools replay. Oh, Jack just got it right in the scone.
Darcy Gardner's done a great job of Revolt. He's just had the 4 touches and the 1 goal.
So with it in the back pocket, has it for Brisbane. Drives the kick out towards the outer side wing. Long drop punt. No mark taken. Fall of the ball, Lockie Neal. Lambert there as well. And Mitch Robinson comes in and makes Kane Lambert earn it as it rolls out of bounds. Just fall to the wing outer side. And that's for Richmond. They control the game. 37-point leaders, 4.5 final term.
Throw in. Nankervis against Martin. Martin gets it down to Lockie Neal, who slaps it on the boot quickly, looking for Big Oscar. Floats over the top. Hipwood's there to apply some pressure. Caddy happy to run it over the boundary line, and they'll throw it in. Belinda might be able to give us a bit of a rundown on Soldo and how he is at the moment, because he hasn't graced us with his presence for quite some time. So we'll wait this throw in and see what transpires here.
Ball spins back in, slap to the front of the pack. Edwards fights for it again for Richmond, as he has done all night. He got to the bottom of the pack and he shoved it out to Prestia, who kicked to the outer side wing to Castagna. Hand pass to Nankervis, back to Castagna. They're trying to create something here, the Tigers. Little short ball inboard to Lambert. He's just forward to the wing outer side of the ground. He's got Lynch and Revolt just running around inside forward 50. Went to Revolt, and Revolt is spoiled on the mark by Adams. And the ball rolls out of bounds. Bob Jane T-Marts, Belinda.
Richmond's Dan Rioli has come from the ground finally after the doctor went out to him 3 times. He's just checking his left ankle right now, a troublesome ankle for Rioli.
Bob Jane T-Marts has a month of big deals on big brands such as Bridgestone, Hankook and BF Goodrich, champs.
Yeah, the place to go, Baz.
Good people.
Cochin, little quick kick forward. Adams did really well running back with the flight of the ball. He's adjudicated the mark, and umpire said it came out when he hit the ground. So good decision. They just need to throw caution to the wind here, Brisbane. They need to come lateral, take some risks. They go long down the line. Berry takes the mark. Outside defensive 50. He looks lateral. And you might as well play on and go for it. He goes short to Christensen. He does the same. Now they're trying to get something going up the fat side. Witherden takes the mark.
Witherden in a bit of space, looks up the corridor and finds McCluggage. He's got Andrews wide on the wing out here. And eventually goes back and looks at the corridor where Zorko led in front and marks. He kicks it and switches it to the outer side wing where Lockie Neal stands alone. He marks. Short kick to Robinson, who started terrifically well tonight. And he marks forward to the wing outer side of the ground. Drop punt is about 45 metres into the forward pocket where there's about 20 players. Asprey at the back of the pack. In the back pocket for the Tigers, claims it. Hand pass to Baker. Hand pass to Vlosten. Kick outside defensive 50 to Bolton. He bounced it and went without it. Goes back and picks it up because he had a paddock to run in. Hand pass back to Short. He's taken 3 bounces. Approaches the wing. Bolton runs forward. Short gets around Zorko. Kick inside forward 50 to the big man Lynch. Spalled down to ground level Rich. Hand pass to Christensen at half back. Another one to Lyons. A short kick to Stephen Martin.
Steph's got to go.
Oh, he's Gonza.
Well, he was Gonza, but before that, I think Vlosten ran over the mark. Or Caddy did. Someone did. And it's a 50-metre penalty.
Ooh, lucky.
So Caddy's on screen, so possibly it was. He goes short, Christensen. Little short pass to McCluggage, got him. 40 out from goal, will have a shot.
Well, that's probably just a micro example, champs, of what they haven't done well enough going forward tonight. Just that lateral kick across ground. Then a short little nice little wide chip inside, which is going to be a bit of space. And that great example there from McCluggage. Found a bit of space and becomes an easy forward entry.
Triple M Bosch Tools replay. It was Josh Caddy come from behind when Steph Martin had taken the grab. McCluggage just missed 2. Oh, geez, only just scraped it behind him. That's terrible.
Horrible, isn't it?
It's really bad kicking, really bad skill execution.
Just an accumulative effect, I reckon, too, champs. When the others miss, you feel more pressure because you know you need to hit the scoreboard, and it builds up onto the rest of the team. And you get even some of the best kicks for goal, like McCluggage, missing badly like that.
6 goals, 16. So 22 shots on goal to 18. The Lions lead it, but the scoreboard doesn't reflect that.
Yeah, 36 points the Tigers' way. bouncing off half-backers Broad for Richmond. His sideways kick will bounce out of bounds. Didn't come off the boot very well at all. And Gardner got in front of Martin and slapped it out. So a big third quarter here from the Tigers. 7 goals to 2, and they've gone on with it in the final term. They lead it by 36 points. The Lions struggling to find inroads into this disciplined Richmond lineup tonight.
So Martin tried to slap the ball off the ground with the slipper, missed it. McCluggage, he's trying to do something. He's been good for his team tonight. Little handball to Witherden. Around the corner, McStay's got 2 to beat and won't be allowed to run at the footy. And an easy mark taken by Ellis. Switches play to Vlosten. He goes out of side. Ball doesn't bounce in the favour of both of those Tigers players who are out there. And Mitch Robertson just is on the ground. He's clutching at his foot. Maybe it's just a bit of cramp. He's actually put his hand up and said he's not good. He's looking at the bench.
Got his hamstring strapped at the moment, champ, so I think he's got a bit of a niggle on the hamstring.
All right, well, that's not good.
He's heading to the bench too. Boundary throw in. In goes Answorth, dragged down in a tackle. All shoved out the back of the pack. There's Graham for Richmond. Got a bit of space here to work into. Nice little hand pass off to Castagna. Castagna got a player running past in Alice. He approaches the edge of the square. He's 60 from home. Long ball to Dusty Martin. Gardner with him. Brought it to ground level. Deep forward pocket for the Tigers. Martin goes again. Shoved it underneath his leg. Gave it a revolt. That is a ripping bit of play from one of the greatest ever. I reckon Dusty Martin's a beauty. 2 goals to revolt. And that was just Dusty Martin, all class. Richmond 15-4-94. The Lions 6-16-52. 10.5 final term. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. And Simon Black and Joey Montagna. You look at you two. Just big smiles on your face.
But even Dusty was smiling, wasn't he, Blackie? You don't see that. Even Dusty was admiring his own work. We're just waiting for the Bosch Tools replay screen. But basically, he was in a one-on-one with Darcy Gardner in the pocket. Darcy Gardner did a great job to spoil the ball. And then Dusty on the boundary line slipped over, and instead of taking possession, he caught Jack Rewalt out of the corner. No wonder he was laughing. No wonder he laughed. Now, we were on the opposite side, so we saw that. He threw it. He basically shoveled it and threw it to Jack Rewalt. No wonder he's laughing.
We're going to see that throughout the week 100 times.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you laugh at the ones you can get away with.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, too right. Bosch Tools replay, of course. Good bit of Bosch. Professional power tools, measuring tools and accessories.
We've also just seen on the Bosch Tools replay Mitch Robinson's injury, and it's the right hamstring. That would be his season, you'd think.
He's been excellent tonight, Robertson. He's kicked 3 behinds, 22 disposals, and he really set the tone in that first quarter.
Triple M Red Z lending stats for Mitch Robertson there. Given to us by Joey Montagna. Simon Black also in the commentary box with us tonight, given their expert opinions. That's too high. It'll go to Christensen. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy, and the 103,000 members that the Richmond Tigers now have would be very pleased with what they're seeing tonight. The kick inside forward 50. Lockie Neal's taken the mark for Brisbane. 20 metres out directly in front.
A great piece of play from Bundy Christian there, champs. Just got back quickly, wheeled around, forced his forwards, or more so his midfield and Lockie Neal, but just to create some movement forward of the ball. Go back and take too long. Now they'll Richmond defence to set, but they couldn't on that occasion.
29 touches for Lockie Neal tonight and his second goal. So he's done his best for the club. Can't do any more than that. He leads all comers on the field at the moment with 29 touches. Presty's been very good for the Tigers as well, as has Edwards. And he finished that one off nicely. 94 plays 58 in front of 37,500 here at the Gabba. 13 minutes played, final term. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Joey, Richmond, your premiership player before the finals?
Yeah, they are. They're the premiership favourites. Yeah, I think so. I think that having that belief and confidence, they've done it before. Their style of play holds up in any conditions, in any environment. And I think we've seen tonight they've just got enough firepower up forward. And their defence is so rock solid. I just think that they're the favourites, the team to beat.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy, bounces good. Zorko did well, slapped it out towards his teammate in Lions, who drove a long ball towards full forward, but coming out and taking a beautiful mark is Grimes, who kicks across the goal to Asprey. Hand pass off to the running short, who takes a bounce out of the back pocket. He's got space. Kicks to the wing. Hodge got in front of Castagna, took a ripping mark for Brisbane.
Oops.
Chips it inboard, missed the target, and Berry and a teammate in Zorko shepherded off Graham, but the Tigers coming in numbers. Hand pass comes out to Ellis. Good tackle, young Bailey. Play on, said the umpire. Ball spills to Hodge. The Rolls Royce kicks to full forward. Ashbury slaps it to ground level at half back for the Tigers. Charlie Cameron goes at it. Had a quiet night tonight, Charlie. Ball spills to McCluggage. He has a flying shot from 40 that goes out in the full. Bob Jane T-March, Belinda Mallon.
The crowd here tonight is 37,478. That is the biggest crowd the Gabba's ever had to a Lions match in history, ever.
That's good news,
Wow.
Pete. That's a great Triple M Red Z lending stat there. So the crowd here to support both teams, really, as the Lions get it forward again. Snap on goal. Zorko to the left. Missed it. The Lions fans would be a little disappointed. The Tigers fans, there's plenty of them here tonight. They'd be very happy with what they see. And they're going to progress to a preliminary final in a couple of weeks. Ball goes forward. Rayner wrapped up by a couple of Tigers. Umpire will ball it up.
And they'll face the winner of the Geelong West Coast game, champs, at the MCG, the Tigers. So they'll sit back next week and probably Friday night watch Geelong and West Coast go at it, and they'll play the winner.
So tap down towards Berry. Hand pass off to Neil. Lockie Neil. Red Z lending stat number 30. Kicks towards running
Shane
back.
Edwards.
Shane Edwards, magnificent.
Yeah, the speed's superb. That's what Joey. Stat number 28 coming up for Edwards. And how many contestants he had? 17 now. Been superb, hasn't he?
Running back with a flight of the footy. Oncoming traffic. Eyes on the ball. That is just sensational. Long kick out for the Tigers out to the outer side wing. And the mark's been taken out there by Graham. Graham now kicks it further forward of the wing to Baker. He kicks the ball inside forward 50 to Revolt, who offloads his opponent. Can't complete the mark. Bolton at the full of the ball. Gardner there for Brisbane. Hand pass to Answorth. He's dragged down in a tackle. Dusty Martin picks it up 40 out. Runs it along the ground. Oh, Dusty's got 6. Oh, Dusty, you bloody beauty. 16-4, 100 Richmond. The line 7-17, 59. 16 minutes final term. Triple M Beaumont tile scoreboard. Expertly designed bathroom packages. You can change to suit you from $3,000. Choose Beaumont's.
And this is why Richmond are the premiership favourites, Baz, because Dusty Martin, the first quarter and a half, he was pretty quiet. We said he'd only had 6 disposals. He kicked the goal. So then Damien Hardwick says, well, Dusty, you go play forward and we'll play Shane Edwards as an on-baller. And Shane Edwards has been, well, second best on ground behind Dustin Martin tonight with his 7 clearances, 28 disposals, and Dusty's been the match winner with 6 goals. So that ability for Damien Hardwick to spin the magnets. He can play Edwards at half forward, half back on ball. You send Dusty to the goal square. You don't need him in the middle because you've got Prestia and Edwards and Trent Cotchin. It's just been a masterclass from Damien Hardwick and his Richmond team.
And Dusty on the Triple M Bosch Tools replay. Just a little check side kick. He could have done whatever he wanted with it, really. And he's just got the class to pull any sort of skill off. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy. Back at the restart. Here we go again. Bolton's been good as well. Little handball to Lambert was okay. In pursuit is Darcy Gardner. Tackled to the ground. Lynch's handball towards Rioli. Hodge, though, in the way. Takes the tackle on. Is accepted, and it's a throw. It'll go to the Tigers. Well, was it against Hodge, the throw? And a 50, is it? Or umpire saying, no, shut your trap or I'll give you one. No, it is a 50. Someone's gobbed off, and Jack will go and have a shot right on the goal line. Was it Hodgie? Let's have a look.
We see the Triple M Bosch Tools replay, champs. Hodgie just flicks out a little throw like a half-back in rugby. Thought he got away with it, but the umpire saw him and pinned him for it. So Jack Riewoldt will go back and have a shot on goal here.
I'm not sure who said something, but someone did, and it's a 50. So Riewoldt, and he has 2, does Jack. Righto, Humps, I think he heard it. So Jack, a metre out. Make it 17-4, 106 the Tigers to the line, 7-17-59. What a performance by the Richmond Tigers tonight. 18.5 played final term on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Expertly designed bathroom packages, Baz. You can change to suit you from $3,000. It's just ridiculous. Like, choose Beaumont's, all you have to do.
Around the grounds, Joey, let's for Autobahn. What's happening with the Aussies against England?
So England are 8 for 276, so we still lead by 222. But we need to bowl them out and get out there and maybe make another quick 100.
And Joey, who are the Boomers are playing?
The Boomers in the World Cup, the Dominican Republic, Baz.
Is that who it is?
Yes, they won 81-76. It was a close game, but they won by 5 points, so they'll go to the quarterfinals to take on France.
Very good.
Poms still need 22 to avoid the follow-on, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks to Bob Jane Teamarts. Belinda Mellon, B.
Shane Edwards with a blood rule for the Tigers for the second time. Doctor's just patching him up again. He'll go back on. He's fine.
Thanks, Belinda. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy as Gardner runs forward to the wing, out of sight of the ground, drives the ball wide. It goes out in the full. Has not been the Lions' night tonight. A record crowd, as you heard from Belinda Mellon a little bit earlier, which is fantastic. But the scoreboard shows that the Tigers have dominated tonight. They've been magnificent. They came into the final series as most favourite to win the big one in 3 weeks' time, and they've gone a long way tonight. A preliminary final awaits Richmond, and they're set up beautifully for a real big tilt at the Premiership in 2019. As Martin brings the ball back in for Brisbane from the wing. Keeps it wide again. Hipwood, does he pay the mark? No. Brings it to ground, close to the boundary line. 6-8 players fight for it. Asprey squeezed out a hand pass off to Lambert. Another one to Castagna, off half back. Long kick towards the outer side wing. Martin in a one-on-one. Just doesn't quite complete the mark. Ball spills to ground level. Adams receives a hand pass from Witherden. Long kick up towards McCarthy, who flew and took a nice mark forward to the wing for Brisbane.
Plays on, goes long down the line to Lockie Neal. Lockie Neal coming up with 32 possessions now. Triple M Red Z lending stats. Goes to the top of the square. Hipwood caught behind. Cochin, little handball over the top. Only as far as Christensen centres the ball. There's no one there. McStay's there, but so's Caddy and Vlosten. Vlosten to Ellis. Now to Baker. Baker's handball smothered though. Got a little kick away. Only as far as Dan Rich. Little handball over the top to Bailey. Needs to collect it. Rioli's got him. Holding the ball. It was a good tackle. A good chase from behind. Lambert now. He's got Bolton to his right. Castagna to his left. Switches play. The kick wasn't so good and they've turned it over. Lockie Neal again, who will pick up possession number 33.
Spins one way then the other. Little short kick to Zorko, forward of the wing. Zorko, the skipper, gets around one and then kicks the ball to the forward pocket. McStay up one hand. It's 10 out from the Lions' goal. Grabbed by Berry. He's dragged to the ground. The umpire will ball it up on the edge of Brisbane Square to the left of our broadcast position at the city end. 7-17-59 Brisbane. Richmond 17-4. 106. And we're at the 22-minute mark of the final term. Big pack underneath the footy. Slapped to ground level. Cochin claimed it. Hand pass to Baker. His hand pass was smothered out of bounds. A few tired legs out there now, Joey. But Richmond just cruising beautifully to a preliminary final.
Yeah, it'd be interesting just to see what Fagan does with his Brisbane players. We can see on the Bosch Tools replay, Mitch Robertson on the bench. Does he rest a few of his stars? Because they've still got a huge game next week. You'd want to get through uninjured from here.
So the little kick out of the pressurised situation doesn't really cover a great deal of distance, and umpire will ball it up again. Only about 12 metres out from the Lions' goal. Soldo now back into the ruck against Steph Martin. No clear winner. Ellis has gone to run onto it. Couldn't keep it in play. Throw in 55 out. Soldo spent a fair bit of time on the pine and now he's back on. I thought there may have been an injury worry, but we got his minutes there, Joey. It's very interesting what they've done here tonight. The Tigers coaching staff with Ivan Soldo.
Boundary throw in, Prestia. Got it to Lambert. Swept a hand pass to the wing. Getting in front, McCarthy. Brought to the ground, the umpire to ball it up. Just scrappy stuff now, Simon. But
sorry, Champs, you're spot on. He's only played 66 minutes of Soldo, which is clearly the least on the ground of any player.
Very impressive tonight, Richmond. They've methodically dismantled Brisbane at the Gabba and done it in a way that suggests that they have really announced, if they hadn't already, for this premiership tilt in season 2019. 47 points is their margin. 23.5 final term. on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
So Lions players look at each other and raising their arms saying who's on who here, what's going on. So there's not much communication and responsibility, I guess, going on out there. A lot of players asking questions. Oh, that's a free kick against Soldo, you would have thought. No, got it tapped down to Prestia, who got away. The kick has fallen to Castagna, goes back, takes his time, looks for a lead. Rioli's short, it's going to go over his head. Dusty, why wouldn't you go to Dusty? Spills free, and now over the boundary line for a throw, and Nan Curvis on there as well. Joey?
He's never kicked 7 in his career, Dusty. He's kicked 6 once before,
Never.
which is equal. Against Brisbane in 2018, he kicked 6, so he's done it twice, but he's never kicked 7. So I reckon he's sniffing one out.
Yeah.
He's had a great record against Brisbane over the years, boys. He's
Let's get him one.
dined out many a time.
He deserves it. He's been an absolute beauty tonight. Boundary throw in, massive pack around this. Bailey works his way through it for Brisbane. Did well. Kicks long out of the back pocket to the outer side wing. The ball floats over players, so Hurley tracks it back for the Tigers. Claims it at half-back, little hand pass to Vlossen. His little scrubby ball to Baker. Put the young man under the pump, but Baker was up to it. Won it off Christensen. Hand pass back to Vlosten. Kick outside defensive 50 to Ellis, who's got a paddock to run in. He's had 2 bounces, approaches the wing. Right foot drop punt towards half forward. There's Martin. Does he get in front and take the mark? Brings it to ground. Goes back onto it, got caught high. He's 52 out though, Joey.
Have a pig.
Have a pig.
Oh, present the barrel. He doesn't. Team man squares it up to the hot spot, but he's missed the target, but it's through Oscar McInerney's fingers. It allows Caddy in to have a snap. He's 35 out and puts it through. The Tigers have got another one. 18-4, 112. It's officially a smashing. The line 7-17-59. Caddy's got 2. 26 final term. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Yeah, well, it's all Tigers, boys. It's been a great... They put the foot on the throat probably halfway through that second quarter, didn't they? And it's been a great lesson for the Lions. I mean, Chris Fagan will take away some positives from tonight. No doubt about that, Baz. They've won the contested ball, won the clearance numbers again, but and they've had equal a couple more scoring shots, but they've got to be effective going forward. It's killed them again.
Well, Blackie, can you take positives out of getting beat by a similar margin, a similar 10-goal margin, 2 games in a row?
Well,
really?
The scoreboard factor is obviously against them, enormous chance, but, mate, they've had, 24 scoring shots to 22. We've spoken all night how ineffective they've been at goal. Their accuracy's been deplorable, but at least they're getting a crack at it. At least they're getting opportunities.
Triple M Seabus Super special comment. Seabus Super offering members insurance cover that protects building and construction workers. Simon Black and Joey Montagna bringing those to you tonight. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy. Ball's out of side now. Kane Rayner just knocked over in pursuit of the footy. Edwards again, another touch. Kick inside forward 50. Big Nan Curvis is there, put the slipper in and sees it out of bounds for a throw-in.
And that's the art of coaching, champs. Blackie's right. I mean, they've still had 11 more inside 50s and all those indicators. So you've got to put the scoreboard aside and look at the actual process and the things you were doing on the field. And there is still a lot of things they can like about their game, particularly in the first half, that they can take away and build on. And they can still learn from what went wrong in the second half and how Richmond were able to counter-attack so easily.
Richmond back to full forward. Alice, a high kick, no mark taken. Full of the ball, Hodge, who's been terrific. Hand pass off to Neal for the Lions. Another one to Gardner. Rush kick outside defensive 50 straight onto the chest of Basher Hooley. And what a year he's had. An All-Australian at half-back for the Tigers. At the moment, he's 65 from goal. Called to play on. It's a re-entry for Richmond. Oh, the 2 big ruckmen will fly against each other for the Tigers. Nan Curvis and Soldo. Back of the pack, Gardner dragged down on a tick. Charlie Cameron in the back pocket for the Lions. Kicks out to the outer side wing. No mark taken. Ball spills. Loston's there. Hipwood lays the tackle. And in the centre of the gabba, the umpire calls for another ball up. A big lead, 53 points to the Tigers over the Lions. 28 final term. That's all on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Big firm believer in your can only play as well as your opposition allow you to, and Richmond have just been so good with the pressure tonight. And they're resting a couple of their superstars at the moment. Lynch and Dusty on the bench as we speak. They've probably put the cue in the rack for tonight. And resting them up for a couple of weeks away. Their pressure and skill level has been immense. You throw in a couple of those superstars. Prestia's on there as well. It's been very, very good. So the Tigers will start to chew this clock down. A little bit of junk time now. So now Long down the line. Up towards Nankervis, punched away from him. Caddy's in pursuit. Hooley's there as well. Sees it over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Gee, the draw's really opened up, you think, for Collingwood when you look at it now. That Collingwood's going to play the winner of GWS and Brisbane at the MCG in a preliminary final. It's Collingwood fans, it's sort of fallen in their lap. They should have probably finished outside the 4, but West Coast got rolled in that last game against Hawthorn, and now they're sitting in the box seat going to play an interstate side in Melbourne.
Work to half forward. Rayner's got it for Brisbane. Kick towards goals being cut off and brought to ground by Grimes. It was brilliant in the first quarter against Charlie Cameron. Hand pass off to Short. Short's taken 2 bounces. Long ball to Bolton, who flew very early. In fact, got shepherded, and he's got the free kick. So he's 70 from home. On his backside, he hand passes off to Lambert. He goes to the pocket. A rewalk. Jack flies. No mark. Hodge got back and made the spoil. Third man in. Tracked the flight of the footy. Hand pass off to Bailey. Short kick to Neal. Sweeping hand pass to McCluggage. Another one to Cameron. Another one to Rich. They're out of strife.
Rich back to McCluggage. The link in handball was good. Rayner. Now McCarthy on the end of it. Short little kick. That's the best transition of play for the game for Brisbane. Ends up with Hipwood unselfishly over the top to Christensen. Takes the mark. Christensen only 20 metres out, but tight angle. He should probably wheel around here and kick it on the right over the left shoulder.
It's a good point, Champs. Tigers just have not allowed them to transition that ball that way all night, have they? Been superb defensively.
So foot maybe off the pedal a little bit. It doesn't matter. They just need to win. Percentage doesn't play a part now. Christensen's a nice finish. And good to see how Christensen get through tonight's game too. I was a little bit worried about his hamstring. Just 1 week rest, Blackie. That's his second for the night, but he's moved quite well tonight, been very good. So 18 for 112. Gee, that's good kicking by the Tigers, isn't it? To 8-17-65. 31 played, final term. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
And it is, as a coach, Joe, isn't it? You want to try and take away anything positive from a game, particularly coaching a young side like Brisbane, and a lot of them their first finals, and they have. They've had 25 scoring shots to 22, so they're going to dine out. Well, they're going to reinforce a lot of the positives going forward. They've got to bounce back quickly. We'll get in on Monday morning and review this very, very quickly and move on. But there are certainly a lot of positives from tonight, albeit a large result against them on the scoreboard.
For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks Footy, the Monopoly game at Macca's is back and bigger than ever. Visit maccasplay.com.au for full terms. Bounce is good. 47 points the Tigers lead. Final seconds. Tap down towards Lockie Neal, who's been brave tonight for Brisbane. Got it to Berry. And now to Bailey. And a kick back inside forward 50. Rayner will fly. No mark taken. There it is. The Tigers are through to a preliminary final. In 2 weeks' time, they'll be back at the MCG. It's a 47-point win to Richmond. 18-4, 112 to Brisbane. 8-17-65.
In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and skin. If we're behind, then never mind. We'll fight and win, for we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren's gone. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold, for we're from Tiger. Yellow and black, we're from Tigerland.
Dustin Martin kicked 6 goals tonight. He was magnificent in many, many ways. 3 goals to Revolt, 2 to Rioli, 2 to Lynch, 2 to Caddy with the multiple goal scorers for Richmond, and 2 goals to Christensen and Neal for the Brisbane Lions. But a big win to Richmond, Joey. 47 points in the end, and they're back at the MCG in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, hosting a preliminary final. They flex their muscles, and that's why they're the premiership favourites. We all knew it. We've all seen it.
All right, courtesy of Channel 7, here's the star, Dusty Martin with Richo.
Full credit to the boys. We stuck to the process and good result.
Made 6 goals playing as a deep book. Did that come about during the game that you were going to play deep, or is it just something that evolved, or was it a pre-sort of game plan?
It just kind of happened as the game went on, and I was just lucky enough to get on the end of that one ball. Was great work. Shane Edwards, Dion Prestia, Kochi, Lambo, they played great.
Yeah, and it was the leaders. I thought it was Cochin in the second quarter and Shane Edwards in the third that really got the game style up and going.
Yeah, everyone pulls their weight across the ground. It's a fantastic side and great for the media.
And made you didn't have to do as much running playing deep forward. You should do it a little bit more often.
Yeah, I might get used to that, I think, Richo.
Well done, Dusty. Outstanding.
He's loving his footy, Simon, isn't he, Dustin Martin, at the moment?
And why wouldn't you, Baz? I mean, he's such an asset to this side. One of the superstars of the competition, through the midfield or forward. And that's what the great midfielders can do, go forward and have a massive impact, and he's just a pleasure to watch.
They were the premiership favourite, Richmond, coming into the game, as we head back down to ground level, courtesy of Channel 7 shortly, but they've shown nothing, Joey, in the last couple of hours to suggest they're not otherwise.
No, absolutely. No, they showed exactly why they've been playing the way they have. As I said, they're not a strong contested ball clearance team. They never have been, but they're a turnover team and they're a pressure team and they're a counter-attack team from their half-backs, and that's exactly what they did again tonight.
All right, here's another star tonight, Shane Edwards with Richo.
Ship down there, he was really good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was amazing. We almost he's almost underrated just because he's done it so often. A bit like Rancy. We can't take what he does for granted. It's just so crucial, and without his first quarter, God knows what the score would have looked like for us.
At quarter time, we were under siege. They kicked in accurately. What was the message? Was it calm from Damien Hardwick?
Well, we knew how they'd come out. They'd come out firing, and they play such a good contested brand. We just had to weather the storm, and eventually the game will open up, and that's when we get our game up and going. And you mentioned it, Grimesy, but we held strong in defence, and I think that kept us in good stead for the rest of the game.
In your own form, you like a good bottle of red, Shetty. You're just getting better with age.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The ball's just bouncing my way, I guess, but like a lot of my teammates are doing the hard work on the inside, so they're probably to blame for my form, I guess.
Did you go into the middle a little bit more tonight?
Yeah, played a little bit in the middle. We don't really have set positions. It's sort of first in, best dressed at the moment, so I just got to read the cues and get in there early.
And another prelim final, the third one in a row for Richmond. Be able to sit back and have a good rest now next week and recover.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough gig trying to switch off mentally when you see other teams playing, and there's some teams out there in such good form, so we'll see what happens, and we'll freshen up for whoever we've got in a couple of weeks.
Okay, thanks, Shane.
I reckon you would have loved his Triple M Red Z lending stats tonight, Simon. 28 he had it, but 18 of those were contested, and he was so blatantly obvious in tonight's game. What I mean, he was just so present in those contested situations all night.
Yeah, wasn't he, Baz? It's just, when the game was there to be won, he was instrumental. He played a massive part in a lot of that bulk grunt work with those contested possessions in that second and third quarter to bridge the gap on the scoreboard significantly in Richmond's favour. So, yeah, he is. Richo just said it there, didn't he? He just gets better with age.
Yeah.
Which is just such a line breaker. For an interesting stat tonight, boys, the old bouncers. Brisbane only had 2 bouncers in the game to 23 of Richmond. So I guess it shows a little bit how they got out in the space a little bit, were able to carry the ball. And the players thinking of a part in their entries going forward with a bit of space.
And you speak of contested possessions. Dusty had 14 touches, 13 contested possessions. So, they're hard ball winners, just get it, and are just so dangerous. I think also those Triple M Red Z lending stats tell the story. Brisbane Lions, 3 key forward players, Charlie Cameron, Hipwood and McStay. 7.76, the lowest in the Brisbane team as far as their possession.
And Chad, I think here's some stat, for Richmond compared to Lions. Richmond number 1 differential for metres gained by handball, so they handball forward a lot, and that's what they did tonight. They averaged 385 metres a game, whereas Brisbane at 18th, and they go backwards 153 metres a lot. So they broke the game open a lot with their handball, and that's what enables you to get the ball in a bit of space, and those bounces, 23 of them tonight, which allows then more of an open freer kick going forward than a blaze away kick.
If Richmond are the favourites, Joey, in your eyes, who is the most dangerous side for them that's still in there at the moment?
Well, I think it's the West Coast Eagles, and as I said, I'm confident that they'll beat Geelong next week at the MCG, which means West Coast will play Richmond in the preliminary final.
Yep.
And I think that'll favour Richmond as well, because that'll be consecutive weeks that West Coast will have to come back to Melbourne, so that can only help Richmond. So really, I think it's Richmond's to lose, I think. If they play like they did tonight and what they've done really since the bye, they're going to be very hard to beat. And the other side of the draws, I probably feel that the easier side, to be fair. Collingwood have surprised me a little bit. I don't think they're in great form, and I reckon it sort of worked out nicely for them. They got Geelong, who they just continued to back up their form of not playing well off the bye and in finals, and now Collingwood are going to play either a Brisbane or a GWS side at the MCG. So I think if Richmond get through to a grand final, they'd be pretty confident. They'd be red-hot favourites. They'd win it.
If we cast our mind back to the prelim last year, Dusty went in with a dodgy calf.
Yep.
And everyone was saying that's probably the difference between them winning and not. Different story this time round. Coming in with amazing form.
Yeah, fit and on fire. Yep.
You know.
They've got players back at the right end of the year, haven't they?
They have, yeah, and they've got games into them now. Jack Rewald and Short and other guys that Cochin.
Yep.
So they're cherry ripe, I think, Richmond, and they'll learn from the preliminary final loss. I mean, you'd learn a lot from those losses, and they'll have taken a huge amount out of that, and they'll be better this year. And
also, Joey, the deep hurt you get from a big loss like that. I mean, you know, it's like, unfortunately, those losses they ring deep, and you don't let go of them anytime quick. So that was a big one for Richmond last year, and they'll be better for it.
You can hear the Richmond Rooms. We'll get down there for the song. We'll be there. Lynch and Rewalt work well. Here they go. They did it well, the Tigers. They did it beautifully tonight. In the end, it was a 47-point win. But they dominated the contest since quarter time. The Lions actually led by 12 points at quarter time and led big on the stats as well. But it was the Tigers who just wore them down, 18-4, 112. Lions 8-17-65. Everything just worked tonight. The Nan Curvis coming in with Soldo ended up working. It was a tough night for Stephen Martin to be able to try and wear those two big blokes down. Everything they did worked.
And we were singing the praises of Dylan Grimes early in that first term. 4 intercept marks, I think, in the first quarter. Rarely cited after that, but didn't need to be. I mean, he finished up with only finished up with 12 touches at the end of the day, and only 5 marks. So only one more after quarter time.
But he negated a match winner.
That's right. Charlie only had 7 disposals, 1 goal. So. Yeah, boys, don't want to jump the gun too much, but you look at those two sides of qualified preliminary final. Collingwood and Richmond. Can you imagine that
in a grand final?
It is. Good luck getting a ticket to that. I tell you, that is going to be absolutely huge. The kids are out in the ground here at the Gabba. We'll stay in the rooms for a while. We may be talking to one of the heroes very, very shortly at the Tigers, but a huge night for the Richmond Footy Club. I think it's the first final they've won away from the MCG since 1982. Now, they haven't played a lot away from the MCG since 82, so it's one of those stupid stats, as BT would tell me. But, to be able to... you can't underestimate, I don't think. Brisbane have been very, very good form. To come up here and did what they did tonight is a statement from a quality side.
And I think it's a little bit of I think they just said, because there's been a lot of talk about, Richmond haven't left the MCG for 7 weeks and all this sort of stuff. Well, they've just come up here, you're right, Baz, against who we touched on pre-game as one of the hottest teams in the competition, and they just took them to school. So that just, again, reinforced where Richmond are at in this competition.
47 points is a win to the Tigers here at the Gabba. 18-4, 112. The Lions 8-17-55. 8-17-65. And it was a big win by 47 points to the Tigers over the Brisbane Lions. In fact, we're going to stay here. Let's go down to the Richmond Rooms now. Belinda Mallon is with the skipper, Trent Cotchin. G'day, Trent. Welcome to Triple M Footy. Congratulations. A big night for your footy club. You came up and got the job done.
Yeah, fantastic. Obviously, credit to the Lions. I mean, if they had a kick straighter, it would have been a lot closer on the scoreboard. But, they're a fantastic team, but we have a lot of belief as well.
What was the message at quarter time, Koch? Because you're right, Brisbane really dominated that sort of 20-minute period in that first quarter, had all the field position, and I thought you did pretty well to hang in there within 2 goals. What was the change from quarter time onwards?
Oh, look, we always knew they were going to throw a pretty strong punch coming to the Gabattoir, I think they refer to it. We just had to stead the flow. You know, they're a really good contested team, play a lot of stoppages as well, so... it was probably playing on their terms, and we just needed to probably just a little bit standoffish and needed to bring a bit more intensity in and around those LDL contests.
One of those players, particularly early, was Dylan Grimes. I mean, his job on Charlie Cameron, particularly in that first half, I think he had 5 intercept marks by half time, and I mean, just again, he just continues to get the job done week in, week out.
Oh, he's just a star of a human, and obviously has become a very, very good and reliable footballer for this footy club. We're just proud of his growth. I feel like every season he's just continued to get better, and what a player he's become. But I think the beauty of him is that we know exactly what we're going to get, and it's simple brilliance. You know, he takes care of one of the most electrifying forwards, but also impacts the game his own ways.
And Coach, I guess I don't want to delve in the past too much, but if I can take you back to that preliminary final last year against Collingwood, has that dug, hurt really deep over the last 12 months? And I guess here you are, you're qualified again. What's it mean to you guys going forward?
Oh, look, I think the reality of it is that you have to be in it to win it, and we've given ourselves an opportunity to go back down to the MCG in a preliminary final. We were definitely not at our best last season. Yes, it hurt, but we also showed a lot of acceptance in the fact that Collingwood were a fantastic team, and they are again this year, and they were just a lot better on that night. We took some learnings out of it. We've took learnings throughout this season. We've had injuries. We've bound together and found a way through the other side, and I'm just really proud of each individual when they're getting an opportunity to wear a jumper. They wear it with pride, and they do their job.
Oh, you all did it well tonight, Koch. There was no passengers in your team, that's for sure. Talk us through the Soldo-Nankervis situation. Soldo spent a lot of the second and third quarter off. Was that a plan, or did that just transpire throughout the game?
Oh, I think it's just something you'd have to ask the coaches. I have no idea. Whether there was a better matchup, with his Nank. I really don't know. I'm absolutely talking rubbish, so I'll leave that one for the coach's answer.
Well, you can tell us about Dusty then. I know you've spoken about Dusty for a long time, but he just decided to pull rank and send himself one out inside 50, and why wouldn't he when he can do what he does?
Oh, he's a special player, and a couple of my favourite contests was when the great Hodgie went back, and I think they probably broke even. But he's a star of a person, and the way he impacts game is not. It's pretty special.
Hey,
Half
Trent,
a dozen's not a bad return, is it?
Oh, it's fantastic. We want to let you go and just enjoy, but just one more about one other of your mates. I mean, I reckon I peaked at 21 years of age, champs.
Yeah.
Shane Edwards, he's 30 now, and, mate, he just seems to get better. That game tonight was, for anyone looking at that, and his contested work was amazing.
Oh, he's working in and around the contest with his feet. He's incredible. He's a little bit Benjamin Button. He just keeps getting better with age, and looking fresher and more agile as he gets older. So, I think and it's another guy who he played back for a period of the year. He's played forward, and he's found his niche through the middle as well. But never ever complains about being taken away from probably what he feels is his best position. Just does what's required for the team, and that's why we love him so much.
Well played tonight, sensational. Your fans will be wrapped. You'll be wrapped. Well played. Couple of weeks and then the prelim.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you soon.
Thanks, Koch.
Brent Cotchin down in the rooms. The skipper just no doubt got that beaming smile that he gets, and he'll have it tonight because he deserves to have that smile right across his dial.
I want him to have a good hard think about the Soldo-Nankervis tonight.
We'll go back to him,
You stumped him with that one, Champ. You stumped him.
47 points to win for the Tigers over the Lions. Richmond are into a preliminary final. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks Footy.